airplane, the more money they'll pay you. Like, so if you're flying a 777, it's different than flying like one of their smaller, little small regional airplanes, right?
Yeah.
And then it's the amount of days that you work, so you get kind of a guaranteed amount of hours that you get a month. But then on top of that, you can fly extra, and there's even some days where you're sitting there on standby because they could call you. You're getting paid sometimes time and a half. So there's different games you can play at the airlines, like selling. You can put up the time that you're supposed to work on the board so other people can take it as extra time for your dues and making $1 million a year. Airlines and flying is one of the few jobs where working for somebody else that you can become a millionaire in about 3 years. And that's starting.
Yeah, I've got a client that he has 3.5 years, about 3.5 years, close to 4 years, and he's clocking right at about 8 or 9.
Somebody's gonna watch the video. Orders. Well, no, it was about.
This is the reason why you rebutted to the first statement about
Let me right now, please. It's about court orders. There's no way around that. Court orders.
No, it wasn't about court orders. It was part and parcel of the conversation that we're having about what the court had laid out.
Okay, so you agree that.
And they weren't orders.
Okay,
But I'm not
you
disputing the fact. I'm not disputing the fact that Hamas is not a sovereign state, so therefore, effectively, they can't rule Hamas to do that. But
Right,
I never disputed that.
Then why did you bring it up?
Read something.
What do you
Then why
mean,
did you
why
bring
did I
it
bring
up?
it up?
No, why did you bring up this piece? I want to know, real quick.
I'll tell you why I brought it up, because you hadn't mentioned anything about the hostages. All you had spoken
Hold
about.
on. Why did you bring up
Israel
this
hasn't mentioned
particular?
anything about the hostages.
Hold on,
in
real
months.
quick. Let Pikachu speak. I want to know why he brought up this being said. Where were we?
Because the court has ordered the hostages to be released.
Let Pikachu speak.
Well, we're all
also
speaking.
ordering
Let
regardless
me
of you've got people,
You've got the fat guy. You've got the fat guy in the background.
Go ahead,
under
Pikachu.
the cocaine.
I don't know why he's interrupted. Go ahead, Pikachu.
Nobody's interrupting.
You are. Go ahead, Pikachu.
Can I read to you from the document,
No, it
please?
is Pikachu's.
I am talking to Pikachu. Pikachu, why did you bring up this?
I'll tell you why I brought it up. I brought it up because your focus was what the court had required Israel to do. But not at one point did you mention what the court had required Hamas to do.
Gotcha.
That's why I brought it
Perfect.
up.
That's it. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add to that? Any other reason why you brought it up?
No, that's the reason why.
Okay, perfect. So again, my point was they cannot legally order them to do anything.
But I never disputed that.
Well, I don't understand why you would bring that up in a
Pikachu.
because the point was the order for this is what the court legally was able to order for Israel. That's what was being brought up, just like you said.
I
Okay?
want to read to you from the document, please.
Hold on, Normo, so we can just chop this up real quick, and then you can go ahead and talk about whatever you want to talk about. So you bringing it up, it's not even a fair argument. It doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
There's no legal order here.
Cannot legally require Hamas to do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
So that whole thing was a what about it?
It was a whataboutism for sure, and it wasn't even
It's
equal.
not what about it is. Just listen. In
Absolutely
the
is.
present case, well, listen to what the court says. In the present case, the court has emphasized that all parties to the
Oh no, where'd he go?
Oh,
Oh my God.
Andy, did you have something to
you
add?
might get
Could you
paid.
come off mic and make a comment?
Dude, that shit was hilarious.
How much shit I take on Clubhouse because of I'm like, I don't care that he's free. I think it's funny that he's free the courtrooms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, like, what are people worried about? Like, you're not fully transparent in what you're saying? Like, aren't people saying the truths? Like, what are you concerned about?
I was like, I love it. They were like, in the Deep State Patriots, I was like, if it's being recorded, my podcast is giveandtake.fireside.fm. Please give me a follow for a follow.
Hashtag follow for a follow. But yeah, dude, I'm causing, it's amazing because like this is actually politics in the sense that like he's posting my content. Like if I actually had donations set up, there are people that dislike him and they would contribute to me. So it's amazing how like reverse psychology perpetuates and, becomes automated. But I have to get my site set up. It's johnforcongress.com, and I'm using Wix, an Israeli, website platform.
Oh yeah, it's a great platform. Yeah.
So I got to go get my bank account set up, but I'm going to try to fundraise off of this. I mean, I have to communicate, and raise money so I can run ads in these cities and towns.
Communication is
That's it. What else can I do? I mean, they're doing the same thing that I'm doing, but they don't like the fact that I am bottling them or framing them or putting them in a lens, and they can't control it. And they're going to get me deplatformed from social media. I've had threats now to burn my house down, to assassinate me, to hire hitmen to kill me.
Who's done that? Who's done that?
In Jeff's room, Rafi.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, dude, I'm recording you. Like, you're literally making murder death threats on the internet against a congressman who's elect. I mean, are you stupid? Do I need to call the FBI? Like, are they fucking stupid? I mean, I'll cause drama about it. I got the recordings. It's crazy. Are they that's stupid?
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, so this is sociology and psychology 101, but I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. Like, what I'm doing is the only thing that I think is going to work, for my life. So, I hope it all works out. But to make online death threats against me is pretty serious a violation of the law. And so Jeff created a room today saying it's not wrong to attack and dox anonymous, people, things like that. Anyways, I hope you have a great day.
Buddy, it's 1 p.m. here, 1:05, and I burned 971 active calories.
I'm gonna go to the gym right now and get on that treadmill. I'll see you on Instagram. Huh.
I did about 30 minutes on the treadmill, but I did about 50 minutes of full body weight circuit this morning.
Nice.
And some yoga.
Oh wow. Oh, you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till Friday night comes. The Shekhinah is coming for you.
Bro, I've lost like almost 50 pounds.
Really?
In about 7 months, yeah.
Well, whatever you do, don't post a before and after photo on your dating profiles, because whenever I see a girl who posts her fat photos next to her new semi-fat photos, I'm immediately turned off knowing that person was once a fat person.
That's fantastic.
Anyways, do a taint check, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, taint check, go.
Okay, bye. Do a taint check.
Military installations of Israel. Yes, they did take innocent civilians. Yes, they killed innocent people. They used the same tactic that Israel has been doing to them for generations. So I don't judge them for that. That's between them and God.
Israel
but the reality is, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yes. On Mike, Andy. Go ahead, resist it to the Andy.
As he mentioned, being that he mentioned children, which is despicable that he even, when Israel has killed more than 30,000 children in this genocide. 30,000 babies burnt, named, and obliterated by Israel. We've seen all the videos. We have all the evidence. The world knows that Israel is a rogue terrorist state, proxy terrorist regime for America.
So you
They are the war. They are the ones. Israel started the war when they invaded. Israel started the war when they went and did the Nakba 48 with the help of, once again, the American colonizers who try to allocate the land of the indigenous population to you European scum. You guys came there begging for the Middle Easterns to embrace you as their cousins in faith, and when you guys came there, you started stealing and robbing. Who were the Europeans in America to allocate anything to you people? Those Palestinian people who are there are not only indigenous, but their ancestors are the real Jews. You guys are just mad that they started converting into Islam.
All right. Now.
Let me ask you a question.
None of that matters. None of it matters at the end of the day, man. None of it matters at the end of the day. Because look, to be honest with you, this is what it boils down to. I understand how y'all feel about morality part, the morality side of it. Like, we can sit here and argue about who's right, who's wrong, till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, like, what it boils down to is just whoever wins. right? Like you got two people who believe they're supposed to be on this land, man. You got two
What are
people
you
who
talking
feel
about?
Get up out of my way. We were
Talking
literally talking
about
about
the
something
power-
specific. I don't need Martin Luther King Jr. talking about
Hamas?
right now. Listen to me
Hamas?
close. Listen to me close.
The
We're talking
Palestinians.
about something specific. It's not your invitation to have a speech right now. Thank you. Otherwise. And now, resistance. Thank you for all of that. You were supposed to just state your rebuttal. Okay, right? You're
My
directing
apologies.
to Andy, so he can go ahead and let's get organized. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't believe this one. Get you not. I can't even believe this.
Okay, yeah, so my apologies for that, but yeah, and the direct response is that all the evidence points to genocide. All the genocidal historians have stated this is genocide. Not only that, the ex-prime ministers of Israel, two of them, have stated that Israel are committing genocide and war crimes.
It's one was that they didn't kill enough Palestinians for considered genocide. They kill enough in a certain amount of time.
No, they're definitely killing
That's what Andy said.
intentionally because of the faith and because they're Arabs. They've clearly stated that they want to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
So
They want all of the
Yeah,
Arabs.
they don't like Arabs.
I get you. We just lost this point at this point. And that's what's going to happen the whole time if we're not organized. Like, I'm not getting at your resistance.
Your mic is a little bit muffled, Mama.
Thank you for that. Is that better?
A little bit.
Okay. Try something else. Is this better?
Way better.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You're welcome. Okay, cool. We lost his point, Can't keep it a specific point. He ran. See, we have
That's
to
like
be
3 Zionists down.
we're 3 down. We've got to
Word
be
Wednesday.
goodness, we literally have to be organized because we're all over the place. We will get to everybody's fucking point, my goodness. But if we're gonna lose the piece, somebody's gonna say something, all right? And it may be something strong, worth responding to, and we need to hear the direct response back. And then when that's closed up, right? Closed out, we'll go to the next one. Isn't that the best approach?
Yeah, sure.
Or you guys just want to start screaming different shit, and you can go somewhere else for all that.
See, I think it's hard though when you have the number of Zios that come into these rooms and try and dominate stages. I think it makes it difficult for some.
I will go ahead. So that, guess what? I will figure that out. Don't worry about that. But one thing we were going to do is be direct. There's no other way around it. All the little distractions.
No, I'm not.
No, I got you.
Fancy just said. I'm just saying that I know who they are, so I watch them coming.
Oh yeah.
The Normals, the Pikachus, the Zeds.
So,
I see
it all day.
I see the style.
As
Yes,
I-
go ahead.
There's a chance.
I have a question. What is your opinion of what's been going on so far?
Who is she asking?
You just explained it.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I didn't hear.
All right, go ahead, point, and then I'll go after you.
All these stats and all this International Court of Justice documents, etc. I just have a simple question. Actually, I got a couple, but you know me, I'll just ask one. How many people total have been killed since in Gaza? Total. To date.
No one really knows the numbers. Too many people in the piles.
I mean, none of it matters at the end of the day. Like y'all so focused on
This guy.
what's right, what's
Listen.
wrong. Y'all so focused on.
Cowboy, didn't I just move you out the way, Cowboy? Come on now.
That's not
We're in the middle
approximate,
of
because I can
something
show you
right
other
now.
people, just like say that other humanitarian organizations who say that they believe it's anywhere from 150 to 200,000.
So now here's my second. So now my second. Here comes my second and then my third question. My second question is of those.
Am I not allowed to speak? Am I not allowed to speak in here or what?
Just you have to follow the
As
conversation.
soon as I'm finished, as soon as I'm finished, Cowboy. 1 second, and I'll pass it to you. Of that approximate 1 to 200,000, let's say that's the number. How many of those were Hamas fighters?
Hamas won't release those numbers. They don't want to. You have to ask them.
Well, when Piers Morgan asked the representatives of Israel, none of them seem to have the answer.
Okay, no answer, no problem. No problem. So now my final question is, How many children under the age of 6 have been killed?
No accurate source of the information.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Hamas is not an accurate source of the information.
It's not coming from
Wait,
Hamas. It's coming from the Gaza ministry.
Question two. Were you asking resistance?
The Gaza ministry is controlled by Hamas.
Wow. Were you asking resistance?
They're asking the room. They're asking the room.
What? Can you shut the fuck up?
No, would you shut the fuck up, please?
Point.
Oh, they've answered me adequately. I got my answers. I kind of knew the answers before I asked. It was all rhetorical.
Yes, because they estimate from the ages 6 down. I believe they said it was 10,000 from the ages of 6 years old down.
There's never been a war in which kids didn't die, unfortunately. There's nothing.
If you're alleging only, like that guy down there, Moose said, if you're alleging 50-something thousand people only died in Gaza, like he tried to say, you're telling me you killed half of that of children? Because they're estimating 25 to 30,000 children.
Well, you just said
So
10,000.
if you guys are so more, no, that's from the age of 6 down, you idiot.
So what are you defining child as, idiot?
As what they say, international people say, it's from the infant to the age of 18.
Resistance.
18 is a child now?
That's what they say. That's their laws, their
18,
rules.
18, you're in the army.
Resistance.
Resistance. I mean, I'm
The
sorry.
fact that even one dead child is not considered an atrocity speaks volumes.
Sure they are. Sure it's an atrocity.
It's not atrocity to them because it's not Jewish children, they're not
No,
white.
it just depends if it was intentional or not. No, it just depends if it was intentional or not.
Jewish.
It has nothing to do with whether they're Jewish or not. You don't know if they're Jewish. Why are you assuming that the ones that are killed are not Jewish?
Because there's no Jews that live in Gaza, and you know that.
Well, why are there no Jews that live in Gaza?
Because hold on, I can easily answer it. Because the Israeli government decided to move all of the Jews who were occupying Gaza out of Gaza.
Well,
The Israeli government chose
how
to do
about
that.
all the Jews that are for Palestine? Where are they? How come they're not in Gaza?
The Jews in Palestine are in Gaza and the West Bank, a place where you guys are illegally settling also.
Jews were removed from Gaza in 2005.
Norm, what do you
20
think
years
of
later.
what about Arab Israelis being denied access to a fucking bomb shelter in Israel right now? What's going
There's room
on?
for everybody.
Why the bomb is going on? What do you think of that?
There's videos on his social media that shows Israelis pushing them out and pushing out the tired people out also. His videos showing it.
There's room for everybody
Shame
in
on
the bomb
you.
shelters,
Shame.
and your TikTok, shame on you. Your TikTok videos are not evidence. You want to go back to the document, though, because the document was clear and it contradicted what Panda said. I've been waiting to read from the document.
Actually, no.
Once again, she clearly stated the document is not binding by Hamas regardless, so it doesn't matter what the document says from the court. Because the only people who are binded by that document would be Israel, a democratic country.
Well, you better let me read from the document because you're wrong about that, and I can read it to you from the document. You ready to hear it? Hello?
Read.
Okay. I'll read
Can
to
we
you
go
from
back
the
to
document.
the casualty count?
Hamas is bound by the documents. Hamas is bound by the court.
Room.
I never said it
This
was
is
my
not
room.
your room. Did you
I never
ask?
said it was my room.
All right,
Did you ask?
then ask the moderators. Ask the moderators.
I just did, and you were talking over them.
Excuse me, can we get back to the casualty counts? How many Israelis were killed from the Iranian strikes?
We're not talking about Iran, we're talking about Palestine and Hamas. Why don't we just
Actually, we're
focus
talking
on
about Gaza.
Just a
Can
question.
everybody look at the chat? I just put it in by UNICEF, one of the most premier people who do all this. They're saying that there's 50,000 children. What is that?
Actually, I'm trying to look for the study, but there's a
Look at the
Harvard,
chat, my brother.
there's a
Look at it.
Harvard study done that's saying the amount of death has increased in Gaza.
Harvard just put it out. I also seen it too. Thank you, Wednesday, for reminding
Do
me
you
that.
know where it's at?
Harvard
Because I
yesterday
couldn't
put
find
out
the
a
original
report.
source.
No, it isn't. Harvard source is Hamas, really?
Yes.
You're an idiot, man. You
No, you're
really
the
are
idiot. Where did their source?
Their source actually came from NBC and other sources. Go read the article yourself.
I thought
And
you
they're
said there were
stating
no journalists.
150 to 200,000 people have already been slaughtered.
It's been undercounted, the death.
It ain't Israel, I'll tell you that much.
A minute ago,
Hold on.
you said nobody
guys.
knows. Now you're saying somebody else knows, but you don't have their source. Not very
No,
good.
this
I
guy
do
is
get the
so
point.
disingenuous.
Look, I do get the point that the numbers are morphed. That is true, and I'm not saying neither party's right or wrong on both ends of the spectrum. But it is true that sometimes they morph the number.
Hold on, Paul. Let me give you this little information you might or might not know. According to the United States, in every conflict that the Gazans and the Palestinians have gotten in with Israel, the numbers have always matched.
No, but
they were always similar. This coming from the United States.
In this case, they've been proven wrong.
Here's my point.
Yeah, sure.
Right back
Can you give
Vietnam.
me that link? Resistance.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, but back in Vietnam, let's hear me out real quick. When Vietnam was occurring, one of the best ways for them to account for how many Vietnamese people were killed was a thing called beers and ears. Beers and ears meaning for every ear, every left ear you get, it's a beer, because a left ear can identify a person.
That's disgusting.
Right? Exactly. That's how they used to do their mark count. That's how you do a casualty count, or that's how you do an actual count. When you have bombs exploding in certain, this is known as Vietnam.
Would you be quiet and then talk? He does this all the time. Oh, you're moderator.
Go ahead.
We're just asking for sources. It's fair.
No, I'm just saying. Usually, when bombs explode and you're actually being hit with certain strikes, it's hard for you to account because of the implosion of body parts. So whereas you might at one point, if you shot a bunch of people, it's different because you can probably go through the mangled parts and figure out every left arm or every left ear. But in this situation, a lot of people are just mangled out and just kind of you know what I mean? It's just a lot of just splatter. You feel what I'm saying? So it's hard to identify a lot of these people.
Yeah,
so even if there was a group of 30 in a certain, even if there was a group of 30 in a certain area and a fucking strike comes, it's hard to identify if it was 30, if it was 15, if it was 20, because you're not going to have left ears. You're not going to have right ears. You're not going to have
how many people you'd have in the first place. I mean, Israel keeps close count of its people. It's a little bit different in Gaza. But we'll know after the war.
We technically won't know, to be honest with you, right?
Yeah,
because everybody wants to be we won't.
I mean, once we finish,
we won't because it's all.
I mean,
it's all more.
It's really actually pointing to we won't really because not only does Israel do not allow international journalists into the country because they know they're going to be exposed for the war crimes, they'll also be covered up by the Americans diplomatically and by the Europeans. So, the colonizers always.
Actually, the international journalist Douglas Murray was there and wrote a book about it.
He's not an international journalist. He is a facade puppet that goes in there with the Israeli people who are going to commit genocide. That's super unbiased.
Then there's the international journalist John Spence writing for Newsweek, who calls Israel the IDF, the most moral army in the world.
We know he's not moral, so what do we care what an unmoral
You don't know. He's a professor at the War College at West Point, the foremost expert on urban warfare.
He knows nothing but killing innocent people.
You said there were no journalists allowed in. I just named two who've written extensively about it.
Not independently. No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
Not one independent journalist. No,
yes,
they all went in there with the IDF. They all went in with the IDF.
There's nothing not independent, but you cannot go into a war zone.
Yes, you can. Journalists have been doing it for decades. Yes, they do.
Yeah,
actually, that's my profession.
Yes, they can. This is what I mean. He's a liar. He's a known compulsive liar.
You will get killed if you.
Even Piers Morgan has argued this fact with these people.
Yeah.
Independent journalists have always been allowed into any war zone. It's up to their companies.
And I just think
resistance is right though. It's just
John
that
Spence
what
and
you're saying
Douglas
here
Murray.
is that. But see, what resistance is saying is that they don't want people to be a part of the ground because then they want to create the perception, as if many people were dead as what they assumed.
They
would have it all over.
To be part of the ground.
They would push. They would. Well, listen to what I'm saying.
And we let people finish their thought.
They don't want people on the ground because if more people were there, they'll kind of see the gist. Israel is one of the countries of America that can literally be. You can be a Jewish American citizen and you can fight for the Israeli army. In itself, that's fucking insane. So
why is that
should tell you something.
Why is that insane?
Because no other country
No other citizen from any other country in the world that lives here can go back to their country as an American citizen and fight for their country.
How about
That's
Britain?
fucking insane.
We
No,
have
Britain,
that.
you cannot be a British citizen and fight for the British Army as an American citizen. No.
Yes, actually you can. We have that agreement with Britain. You're just wrong. We do that frequently with Britain. Yeah, we frequently do this with British people. Yeah, we do.
What?
I did it in Tomislav, Bosnia.
There's the only time when the lying colonizer is telling a fact. Americans are allowed to fight in the British Army also. All those colonizing countries, yes, they are. Americans do fight for France also, the Brits. They fight for the Israelis. Americans fight for the Israelis. Brits, Poles.
Yeah,
they all do it.
Joint partnerships. We think it's called
partnership and colonizing and murdering innocent people in the Middle East and Asia.
Nothing to do with colonizing. In this case, we're decolonizing.
1 second, please. Rohan, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Can y'all hear me okay? Is this all right?
You're good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Rohan, you just came off of mic. I just want to make sure you don't have anything to say.
Oh, I was looking at the idea that Americans can fight in the British Army. I did say that Americans are not automatically eligible, but they can apply if they have indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So, or they're part of a specific recruitment program where the British Army accepts non-Commonwealth applicants. It doesn't really seem like it's a thing, but there seem to be some loopholes that you can make it happen if you live indefinitely in the UK.
The armies work together. This is not uncommon. Allies work together.
That's why a lot of Americans have these dual citizenships in Israel and in UK.
So thanks for that clarity, Rohan. What are your thoughts on the conversation so far? There's only been one question to the room, or maybe two, but it's related. Is what's happening in Gaza considered genocide? Okay.
Well, the ICJ did not say that.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm asking Rohan for his thoughts so far, and then we'll get back on the floor. Okay.
Yeah. So is what's happening in Gaza considered genocide, and we went down a couple different paths about if it's courts or if it's just like the word genocide. Seems to me like the word genocide just seems it's pretty obvious. On the court side, it appears that the courts are still deliberating. However, they've found that the accusations made by South Africa were plausible enough. They were plausible enough that they followed the suggestions that South Africa maintained in their application and listed a whole host of things that they were ordering Israel to stop doing. And that included things that fit under the specific definition of genocide. And if people are talking about intent, in the court filings to the top of the room, they listed the ways that intent could be recognized. They talked about calling people animals. They talked about depriving people of medicine and food. They talked about mass killings. They talked about claims about turning the city into a tent city, a host of other things that were made by people in political leadership that would point to an intent to eradicate Palestinians. So with that being said, I think at least where we're at right now are the courts are still deliberating, but they found the claims plausible enough. And then finally, I think it was 2024 that Panda brought up. The courts, the ICJ specifically ordered Israel to stop attacks in, I think it was Raja, and they claimed, and the reason why they made that order was because it felt like a genocide was imminent. So that's kind of it. I'm just trying to give a summary of everything, T. Does that help?
That does help. Thank you so much.
You left out one of the other points.
So.
Well, Rohan was close.
Hold on, please. Hold on, please, as we get organized. What point was left out, if you can make it quick?
They also issued arrest warrants for Bibi Netanyahu and Ben Gvir for war crimes of starvation and attacking innocent civilians.
All right.
That was the ICC erasing.
All right, that's all right. So Rohan was just going over, there's a summary of the room where we're going to continue on. You guys can add whatever.
I'd like to refine what Rohan said.
Okay, go ahead, Norman.
Yeah, thank you very much. So it's close but not quite accurate. What the ICJ did was it found it plausible, not that Israel was committing a genocide. The ICJ found it plausible that the Gazans might need protection from a genocide, and they had a list of what Israel must do in order to avoid that genocide. A long list of various protections, and Israel fulfilled every single one of the requirements on that. No, you're the liar, sir. Israel fulfilled every one of the requirements the ICJ made of them to avoid the plausibility of the needing of a protection from the genocide. Again, not that Israel was committing a genocide, but that the Gazans might need protection from a plausibly need protection from a genocide. And Israel complied fully with all of those requirements, which is why the ICJ didn't stop the war. They had the power to do so, and they didn't. And I should add, by the way, that they also stated clearly that Hamas fell under they fell under the rulings of international law.
How many Hamas fighters are left? How many
No,
Hamas
let's forget about
fighters?
that point. How dare he come here and say that they will complied with what the ICJ
Every
said
one of them.
when they put a blockade of medicine, food, water, electricity for almost 4 months, 120 days. The Gazan people were starving.
I think
4-month blockade. Is this guy insane?
No, I'm just telling you.
They were committing genocide. That's why they said it was plausible. The whole meaning of plausible is that you could be even doing acts that could be considered genocide. That was the point of them saying plausibility.
No, but there might be.
And then they went and put a blockade.
Talking, all right.
And those protections were provided, and there is no genocide because the whole national ethnic group has not been exterminated.
They're trying to exterminate them. That's the point of genocide.
No, they're not. There's more people now than there were in the beginning. There are more guys.
No, there isn't, you fool. The population was 2.2 million almost, and now they're estimating it to be into 1.6 million.
I'm gonna ask that question now. All right, let me ask this question then. So I'm listening, and I guess we're leaning heavily on the the court rulings and what's technically considered genocide. So this is for research purposes only. I just want to I'm not here to really push back unless it's inaccurate or whatever, right? So I'm just understanding how people think and listening. So I'm guessing, just from what I've heard, let's do this. Like, so it's say in 1942, right? If you saw Jews herded into cattle cars, gassed, and buried in mass grave sites, you'd be trying to convince people that it wasn't genocide. Then, is that correct?
Where are you getting your hypotheticals from? Where are you getting
this is a scenario. If it were in 1942 and you saw Jews herded into cattle cars and gassed and buried in mass grave sites, would you be trying to convince people that it isn't genocide?
What was the stated intent? You left out the element of intent.
Oh yeah.
What was the stated intention of the Nazis?
Where's the proof of intent?
It's in writing.
In 1942, remember, it wasn't ruled a crime against humanity.
I guess you didn't hear about
Hold on, El Normal, you can do it. It wasn't ruled until what? After it was
the Nuremberg Court ruled it a genocide.
Was it afterwards?
Yes, of course it was afterwards.
Yeah, that's where we have all of their evidence.
Now, as it's going on, like the Gaza conflict is, right?
Yes, and
during the time, would you be trying to convince people that genocide is not occurring?
Well, there was no finding that is going on right now.
Okay, so then your answer would be yes, I would be. I would say, hey, this is not genocide.
Why would I say that?
There's no,
Because they're Jews, that's why you're a hypocrite.
What do you mean?
Well, the evidence is overwhelming.
The evidence is more than overwhelming.
I'm sorry, hold on, resistance, not in 1940.
The evidence was overwhelming in 1942.
What proof of
How?
intent?
No one even in North America knew what was going on.
Hold on, resistance, 1 second, please.
This dude is a weird.
What we need today in this conversation to say it's a genocide. This is why I think Pikachu, made this point. We need the proof of intent or the evidence of intent and other things, but we're stuck right here on intent. The proof of intent wasn't around, or there was no evidence in 1942. So
well, there was ample evidence. We just ignored it.
What was it then? What was it in 1942? What was the proof of intent?
Well, it's very easy to tell you this. The Jewish people were taken from their homes, put on trains, and sent to camps by the millions. The intent of that is very clear, unless you can think of it.
How did people in North America know this was going on in Europe at that
Because it
time?
was reported in the New York Times.
How?
If I could speak,
Because there were correspondents reporting it in the New York
Ask Panda
Times.
for her guess, because I'm not
The whole world knows.
that clear.
No one
Panda.
knew.
The whole world knows. It's all
Panda.
reported.
Yeah.
You have to read a newspaper.
From what you've seen on the stage today, if we were in
I'm waiting
1942,
for an apology from
and you saw Jews herded into, or you or anyone else on stage, right? How would this conversation today, this conversation we're having here today, go in 1942? If there were Jews being herded into cattle cars, gassed and buried in mass grave sites, okay?
Yeah.
Would people be trying to convince people that it wasn't genocide?
Absolutely.
Why would they do that?
No, I would absolutely.
Wait, I don't understand.
Stop, Norma, let me hear her.
I would absolutely.
Why would they do that?
Oh, you don't want to stop. That's okay. Go on the go, bitch.
And if I'm understanding the question correctly, I would absolutely, if I saw Jews being herded to trains going to camp, I would absolutely say that there is a genocide happening.
Can I say something?
But if you were to go by one second, but if you were to go by what they need today, right? I'm saying take Pikachu's. Sorry, the name. Take Pikachu's reasoning, all right, and what he needs in order to call something genocide, right? So we need proof of intent and everything like that. So now, answer by Pikachu's.
He needs the ICJ ruling.
He needs ICJ ruling or Nuremberg. All that shit was ruled after.
Yeah, then I would say that it was not a genocide.
Not a genocide, and then and if you were to go follow Pikachu's logic, you'd be sitting up convincing people, no.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell no.
Yeah.
It's not. No, it's not genocide. I'm only following your logic. It's one mic on.
Holocaust inversion now. This is your problem.
I don't know what that means. One mic on point.
I'll tell you what Holocaust.
No, you won't. I'll let point go, and then it'll be on you. It will be on point, then you.
I'd like to speak after Paul,
Thank you
please.
so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I've been listening, and I think the reason there's an impasse of whether Israel calls it a genocide or not, or from your point of view, it is a genocide. There's a missing piece in between, and that missing piece is Project Lavender, which I've never heard any of you mention. And if you read about Project Lavender, and I'll just read you a little bit. The Israeli army has marked tens of thousands as suspects for assassination using an AI targeting system with little human oversight and a permissive policy for casualties. Now, what does that mean? That means most of it's AI done, and there's no human connection between the Israelis and the murders of genocide. So I will refer you people to look up an article that goes, Lavender, the AI machine directing Israel's bombing spree in Gaza. And I called this out a year and a half ago. People were saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. I was like, okay. I was like, I know more about Palantir than you do. I trade on the stock market. So I went, okay. So that's why you have this impasse of there's no genocide. So that's why I asked the question before. Remember the 3 questions I asked? How many people have been killed? Okay, basically 100. Let's use the number 100,000. There were only 25,000 Hamas fighters prior to October 7th. The Israeli press has even confirmed there's only about 18,000 left. So do the math. If 100,000 people were killed and you barely got 18,000 fighters, what would have done that, folks? The only thing that would have done that is callousness, number 1, but more importantly, Project Lavender. So I'd appeal to you to go look this up because most people don't have a clue as to what I'm saying. Now, Normal probably does, but that he knows you all don't. So he's gaslighting you. So go look up what the fuck Project Lavender is. Go look up Peter Thiel, who runs it, and you'll go, holy shit. But I'll wait for you to do that after you do your research.
Okay, can I speak on Mons?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
That be no response to what I just said. Well, I knew that.
Oh, I said thank you point. Love it.
No, not you. No, I'm talking about those who are proponents of what's happening in Gaza. And then I have a count, and I don't know how many kids are dead. And that's the reason they talk that way. It's because of fucking Project Lavender. So go look it up.
Can I make a comment? Hold on 1 second, please. I thought I was next. It's my turn to speak. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I thought I was next.
No, it's on him. He asked to speak. I didn't hear it.
Okay, wonderful.
Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It is actually Pikachu. Sorry about that, Pikachu. Then you're right.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry about that.
I won't be long. I wanted to bring up this idea of Holocaust inversion, because Holocaust inversion is when people accuse Israel of being like Nazi Germany, especially in Gaza.
Yeah,
they are
like Nazi Germany.
They are like Nazi Germany. It's more than
I'm shocked you're not speaking on Project Lavender. I'm shocked. You have not a peep out of you.
It's more than criticism, because it distorts history, and weaponizes Jewish trauma.
And you tell us about Lavender.
We're going to talk about Project Lavender in detail then, okay?
Can I finish?
But go ahead, Pikachu.
I just want to say, it's a form of anti-Semitism when used to demonize and not debate. You can call out injustice, I get that, all day long. Just don't rewrite genocide to do it.
Okay, let me talk to you. So who was that in response to, Pikachu, so we can make sure your point is heard?
It was in response, I don't know who was speaking earlier, somebody who was trying to weaponize Israel and Jewish trauma in relation to what's going on in Gaza by using the Holocaust and conflating. That was you? Okay. Yeah. Well, just be careful with what you say, because using those sorts of parameters are very different.
Let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So what I did was introduce a question, right, to see how people think, right? Because there's like different schools of thought, is what it seems. That's what I've gathered. Some people are heavily reliant on a ruling or what is defined and what proof is necessary. Okay, and that is the big thing there. Okay, so some people are very confused. They're finding it to be dishonest, intellectually dishonest, disingenuous, and so on and so forth. And I'm saying, hey, maybe these are just different schools of thought, where one is heavily reliant on these requirements via ICJ. All right. So what I did was goes back into 1942. All right, and I said, if Jews were herded into cattle cars, gassed, and buried in mass graves, would you have that same school of thought? Can you please let him finish?
Okay. Equating complex military conflict with systematic extermination of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust is false equivalence. You can't do it. The Holocaust was state-sponsored genocide with the sole aim
and so is the Israeli government.
Please let him finish. It's okay, please let him finish. What I wanted to do, right, is see, like, because you don't have equating. Listen, there are requirements that are in place.
I didn't finish my statement. I got interrupted. Sorry.
All right, so requirements in place.
I actually got interrupted. I didn't finish saying what I was saying.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. By weaponizing the Jewish trauma, okay, it turns the memory of the Holocaust into a political weapon. And you're doing it to delegitimize Jewish identity, the history, and actually Israel's right to exist. Now, you need to understand that this is actually a recognized form of anti-Semitism, because it lists Holocaust inversion, which is what you're doing, as a common form of modern anti-Semitism, especially when it denies or trivializes the Holocaust to attack Jews or Israel. Just so you know that.
Yeah, so mischaracterizing the purpose of the question and trying to villainize me is not going to work. Okay. So when I introduced the question, I don't know what anybody was going to say. I can make guesses. When I asked Panda the question, she said, yes, I would consider that genocide. But Panda has her own criteria. She is not overly reliant on the court rulings. She's not going to say it's not genocide because the courts or it hasn't been ruled as such. It wasn't ruled until after it was done. She's not going to say, well, where's the proof of intent? She's going to see what is happening or what was happening and say, oh, that's genocide and that's wrong and something needs to be done about it. Now, you're having a hard time doing it, okay, or saying that it is genocide. If we follow your school of thought, all you have to do is follow your same methodology, right? Which was, okay, let's look at the requirements. 1 second, just let's look at the requirements and see if these requirements are fulfilled for ICJ, excuse me. So you should be doing exactly that, like you did with this, unless there's something that is going over my head. All right, so the villainization, I think it's not gonna work at all for me. This could have been quick and easy. It was very quick for Panda. Yes, that's genocide. Yes. I know that wasn't. What did you say? Weaponizing and whatever.
Yeah.
Jewish trauma. What did Panda answer the question? She didn't do any of that.
Because he's a Jewish supremacist and he thinks the Jewish people can slaughter and kill anyone they want in the Middle East.
All right, so now I got your name, but okay, you're next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, the Uyghurs in China were actively being genocided as far as national media was concerned. And I don't know if they still are because they're no longer a hot topic. Because the Jews have now taken the spotlight with the war crimes that people say that we're committing here in Berlin. Because I'm speaking to you from Jerusalem, by the way. And I find it very interesting that nobody's making the connection to the German Bund, which was an organization that was active in the 1930s, that were active supporters of the National Socialist movement and supporters of the Third Reich, that were inside the United States. Our doctors, our lawyers, our teachers, our congressmen, mayors, so on and so forth, all gathering in Madison Square Garden, throwing up the Nazi salute, talking about how great it is to be, I guess, German and a National Socialist, even though most of them are American citizens. I don't know, but I feel like that's beginning besides the point. If someone is going to tell me that we're actively committing genocide, but they're still trying to decide as to whether or not it's going on, there's one or two things that are happening. They're choosing how they're using that word based upon who it's being applied to and who they're talking to. Or maybe, just maybe, they're making it up to support a narrative. I myself grew up going to local court systems with my father, who was a police officer 17 years before he assumed public office. I know that for every ruling comes then an execution of that ruling. These bodies that we're talking about are literal kangaroo courts, because in the event that they come to a ruling, it cannot be enforced in any way, shape, or form. They can only threaten. Well, if you come to this country, we're going to arrest you. Fine, I won't come. Well, if you continue to do this, we're going to continue. Fine, you can condemn us. I think a lot of people are forgetting that we're currently at war. And all this back and forth chatter, not from you guys, but from like the so-called powers that be, really mean nothing in the grand scheme of the picture. And what's important is what's on the ground. And a lot of people are having a hard time remembering, and I think this is by choice, that a majority of what the Gazans are going through are being recorded by them. From their breach of the border, all the way to these apparent protests that are supposedly going on, all the way to, the supposed starvation and all of this attack. Everything that is going on is of their own design. They're basically guilty of, writing a check that their asses didn't cash. And they're depending on a lot of people who are so far removed from the situation to speak on their behalf as if it's going to work. And I'm going to land with this. To make the allegations of genocide stick, you would have to then explain to me, the university would then have to explain to me how videos that they are taking are showing the endless massive children and women who are begging for help. And a lot of people culturally don't understand that this attitude of people saying that, oh, we're not Hamas, please, don't mistake us for that. When there were countless citizens running back and forth and raising the roof and throwing up peace signs to cameras, they're upset because the plan didn't work. And now somebody else has to decide how they're going to destroy the state of Israel. And I mean, good luck with that shit.
If I may, this is from the article. And I'm going to type the article in the chat. Just listen to this. And this is all about lavender. In previous wars, intelligence personnel would spend a lot of time verifying how many people were in a house that was set to be bombed, with the number of civilians liable to be killed listed as part of a target file. After October 7th, however, this thorough verification was largely abandoned in favor of automation. What is the automation? Lavender. What is it, AI? Yes. Is it 10% failable with a 10% error? Yes. So what it does is separates the soldier from the war and from the killing. If you read the article, you will see red, yellow, and blue are the colors used by lavender to identify where concentration of cell phones were. This is all factual stuff. When you begin to understand this, then you will understand the title of your own room. Lavender was designed to remove the human element from war. That's why no one wants to talk about it. That's why you have 100,000 to 200,000 people killed in Gaza. It's not because the Israelis were just total animals. Of course they were.
They are.
But it would facilitate. I said, of course they were. And they are.
Yeah, that's what I said. They are.
It's happening because of lavender. So now those that are interrupting me, please tell me what you know about lavender. And I'll mute up.
Can I make a quick comment?
There, I knew where to be. Do you know anything about lavender, sir, first of all? Yes or no?
No.
I didn't think so. No problem.
No. Yeah, but the reason why what is going on in Gaza is not considered as genocide is because of the class of human beings that are there. You know, if it were a different class of people, it would have been classified as a genocide like real quick. Because people are being killed like animals over there, and nobody is saying anything. Nobody's able to say anything, and if you dare say anything, I mean, you are bamboozled, you are attacked, and then you are attacked as an anti-Semite. But you are just, looking out for human beings, just like any other person.
I think it's less the class of people receiving the genocide and more the class of people doing the genocide. Like, we have no problem calling shit genocide when it's like an African genocide, when it's like warlords killing other warlords, and we'll call that ethnic cleansing real quick. But as soon as it's like some fine, upstanding white folks from Europe doing a genocide, then it's not a genocide anymore. It becomes complicated.
I think it's the class of people receiving it because.
Do you mean it's the other way around? Is that what he meant?
I think it's the class of people receiving it, not the ones doing it per se. Not the ones doing it per se. It's the ones receiving it. Okay. For instance, when you go to Africa, you go to Congo, where King Leopold killed like 20 million people or whatever, in Congo. Nobody even knows about these things. No, and this happened about like in the 1800s, not that far. Nobody knows about them. But if it happened to a different class of people, that everybody knows about it, and then there are movies made about it, and then never again. But slavery, what happened in Congo, and all these things, nobody knows it because nobody's allowed to talk about it.
And I think this one, all these
Exactly. What movie did they ever make of Leopold with what he did with the Africans? He killed like 40 million.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. It's the class of people receiving the genocide. That is why it's not being classified as a genocide right now.
It's the only genocide only applies to white people.
Hold on 1 second, please. Here's my question.
Listen.
If there is a genocide, okay, very nice, man. Very nice. If this is a genocide, with the videos that they are recording, why are the videos coming out at the rapid succession that they still are? Because everybody
media. What do you mean? We have the technology that everything goes out instantly. Meaning, even if a bomb is coming out the sky, someone happens to have their phone out, you can still get the video out to people, whether it's Facebook, YouTube.
I get you.
Can't
hear everybody talking at once.
I gave him the answer.
I get you. No, you didn't.
Can there's a Harvard study? I found the link. Say sorry. Can you just let blank person finish? Go ahead.
It's Ario, by the way. I don't know why my name is.
Sorry, Ario. I'm sorry.
It's
Ario.
Let Ario finish.
And he openly admits to beating his Palestinian children, by the way, people.
So the question still remains. If the genocide is happening, which is a severe and rapid decrease, in population, why is media from this population coming out still in rapid succession? Because if we were killing everybody, hold on please. Because if we were killing everybody, there would be nobody from that side, almost nobody from that side left.
All right, you said that already.
Hold on, madam.
You take it to
okay, well, if it's a problem for you, you can leave the room.
No, because what you're saying don't make sense. They are trying to kill
Let him finish, please.
Gotta do it again, all right? So
yeah, seriously.
Let me hear the question clear without interruption, please.
Thank you, T. If genocide is taking place, which is the rapid decrease of the population because they're actively being killed off, why is it that media content from this population is still happening at the same rate?
What does that even mean?
No, can I answer, please? Because, once again, thank God for people having brains and sense. This is not the 1940s where people could get mass murdered and no one can see it instantly and you can just get away with it. We live in a technology world now where it's very tricky for Israel to openly just kill everyone out in the open because of media, mass reporting, and the internet. So this is why they use other tools to try to genocide the Palestinians, such as starvation, which they did which it's continuously doing because everyone knows the blockade is still there. They're not letting food in. Children are dying. There's massive famine. They're using no electricity, no water, on top of drones and bombs. It's just a different format, a different methodology on how to commit genocide. All genocides are not committed the same way, but ultimately it is to eradicate a population like Israel is doing to the Gazans and the people in the West Bank.
But it's not just to eradicate. One sec, real quick. I'll just say real quick.
I've been trying to. Hold on.
Literally
2
7
minutes.
seconds.
1
I promise.
second.
Literally 5 seconds. I promise. Time me. So again, genocide is not just killing off of people. It is also the removal of people from their lands. Thank you, Wednesday. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say I found the Harvard study. If anybody wants to look at that link, and it shows that the underreporting of the amount of murder that has been happening to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. This is the original link. You could read everything, PDF form, everything. I just wanted to get the original link because other sources have been reporting it, but I found the original link.
So, just to rephrase the question, because there was a lot of emotional.
No. You rephrased it. You said it.
Go ahead.
You don't like the answer. You don't like the answer.
If there's 100 people, all with media tools, and there is a genocide, which means that 85 of those people have been killed, why is the remainder of the people that are left still able to put out content as if they still have the strength and the resources and the tools of those 100 people.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
You want to measure this influx of information. How are you able to measure? Did you measure them?
I put the article.
That's an excellent question. How do you have any idea what the media sources are? That's incredibly.
All right, hold on for a second. Corey, did you say something?
Yeah, I put the lavender article in the chat for those that have the art to read it and get shocked. It'll give you some information that you don't have. As I can tell from the discussions, you're kind of clueless of what really went on in Gaza and what's still going on. No, and it's not on the news. No, they're going to put it to you that way. So I'm giving it to you. Read it if you want. You don't know it.
Project Lavender information is in the chat. So click on it and read it.
I'm wondering why none of the. I'm baffled. All these people with all these stats and representing Zionism, etc. No problem, but can you speak on Project Lavender? How come there's not a peep?
Of course. I can speak on it.
Oh, thank you.
Well, can we get your question out of the way? Then yes, we have to get into Project Lavender. Because nobody's going to click the link. So we got to just bring it to the stage in detail. So your question is if genocide is taking place, which is the rapid decrease of a population, then why is it that media from that population still being released at the same rates or something along those lines? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it seems like it's like a flawed assumption here, right? Where you're like equating genocide with like the erasure or the rate of erasure of a population's media output.
Not necessarily, because we're living in the age where any and everybody can record what is going on, and that is how a majority, and I'm not saying this to be insulting, I'm saying this to get the truth. A majority of us in this room are observers, and there's only 1%. I don't know where anybody else lives, but I live here in this room. That's an active participant in the days and times that we're living in. And there's a need for that information to get out so that you all can formulate Lord.
So if you live in Israel, can you speak on lavender? If you live in Israel, can you speak on lavender?
We will speak on lavender right after this. Let me hear what you have to say. Because this question is super flawed, but let me understand it. Go ahead.
Okay, well, if it's flawed, please correct it as I
I just responded to it.
Why not let him speak on lavender?
So you said, so the question is, if genocide is taking place, which is the rapid decrease of a population, then why is it that media from that population is still being released at the same rates? So genocide is the rapid decrease of. Do you have the correct definition for genocide? Are we? Are we falsely equating genocide to the complete erasure of a population or something? Is it or yes. Media output or
yes,
media out?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Because that's the latest dance craze that all the kids. That's the latest record all the kids are dancing to.
He's talking about feelings.
Which is why. Please be quiet. Please be quiet. Thank you so much. Which is why it keeps being repeated. But depending upon who you're talking to, they're all the same.
I need accuracy. I don't need whatever a TikToker said. I need
exactly.
What is genocide?
Oh, avoiding lavender. Wow, this is the reason the discussions go nowhere. Let him speak on lavender. He lives in Israel.
He'll speak on lavender right after this.
That's the reason why you'll never get to the understanding of genocide or no genocide. It's through lavender. Through lavender, there's no genocide from the opposing side. Because it removes the human element. So why didn't you let him speak on it? Because maybe he has a different take. This is the crux of the gospel.
And guess what? Guess what I'll be doing, which is letting him speak on it right after. Right after this, he's going to speak on it. Didn't he agree to it? So go ahead. What were you saying? So we can get to lavender. Go ahead.
What I was saying was, it's all about numbers. If the same rate of information.
The information is lavender. Shut the fuck up. Get to the question. Tell us about lavender. Stop trolling her. You know she doesn't know what the fuck lavender is. I do. You can't troll me. There's no way you can troll me. So now, open your mic, and as an Israeli living there, what do you know about lavender, sir? Now watch the
I read up on them. I know about nothing.
No. Allow him. Watch the silence. Watch. And now
when you were speaking on lavender.
You speak on it. No, you speak on it. You live in Israel. I shouldn't be speaking on it. You should be speaking on it.
Sorry, Ariel, what is lavender?
When you were making lavender is an AI tool that we're using in warfare to kill our enemies.
Okay. What's the next question point?
You're gonna take that as his answer?
Ariel, how are you measuring the Palestinian media output?
Remember, I don't.
Can you ask him that, please?
Gliding the questions.
Yeah, Ariel, how are you measuring Palestinian media output in correlation to the number of deaths?
What we're going to do with that, because it just takes so long. That is a flawed question. The logic is terrible, very terrible. You know, spell out how terrible the fucking logic is. That is not what genocide is. If we cannot actually say that genocide is invalidated by visibility, then no fucking shit. That question is not smart. Sorry about that, Ariel. Go ahead and tell us all about lavender.
He's pretty not smart.
I don't need anything. Go ahead and tell us about lavender, Ariel, in detail, if you don't mind, so we can get through this.
Tell you about lavender in detail in what regard? Do you all think that I work for the military?
Whatever you know about lavender is fine. Just whatever you know about lavender, let's take the defense away. And if you tell us what you know about lavender, if what you said is all you know, no problem. We'll move on.
Yeah, what I told you is what I know. It's an AI system that's used to help us kill our
See my point? Thank you. That's it. Notice. That's it. That's all he's got. Right. So now go read the article and you'll see why I answered that way. Then you'll see the reason for your title of your room.
You said 100,000.
Forget
then you said
point.
200,000. Which one?
No, I said based on what the audience, the stage said. I asked the question. They gave a range from 100 to 300,000. Multiple people answered my question.
So now it's 500,000.
Whatever it is, it's done by lavender. That's my point. I think it's gone over your heads.
You find that problematic because.
Find what problematic? Because. Find what problematic? See?
Why is lavender so problematic?
I have no problem with it. I never stated I did. I stated
Iran should use it on Israel.
It has removed the human element from war. That's all I said.
Can you define human element?
Now you should know what that means.
Dear God.
So they're trolling you.
You Israeli cowards will never go on the ground and fight any of the Hamas brothers. You're using AI to kill innocent people.
Exactly. That's
and how does that make you feel?
This guy, can we he's so disingenuous.
He's not trolling me, he's trolling you guys. He knows to stay the fuck away from me. He knows I'll bury him under rubble.
I'm just disagreeing with your points, and you find that threatening for some strange reason. I don't know why.
No, but I see how they treat people of color in Israel. I see plenty of videos coming up. It was horrible.
Now we're gonna play the race. So now we're gonna play the race.
No, I'm just saying. I just saw it about 15 minutes ago.
So now we're gonna play the race card.
No, we're not
playing the race card. We're actually reading articles that are saying Arab Israelis are being denied bomb shelter access in Israel. Your thoughts on that, Ariel?
Yeah, propaganda. And also
it's not propaganda. It was also black Jews that were denied.
Wednesday, your name is not Ariel. Your name is Wednesday.
And she thanks her stars daily for that.
Can I ask Ariel, the chairman supporter, a question then? So the videos that are coming out of Israel from Israelis from those bomb shelters, those are also propaganda?
100%.
Okay, just want to make sure the Israelis see and propaganda. And Israel has propaganda.
And just on top of that, this is not an insult to anybody in the room. It's an insult to the position. There's a saying here in Israel, and that saying is, Israelis are stubborn by birth, and Americans are stupid by choice. So they're selling it to the people who are going to buy it.
Listen, you fucking piece of shit. You are a fucking American.
Relax.
You are a fucking American.
said you don't have to curse at him. It doesn't make sense. We actually know his background. This is a guy that left Detroit. He's an American. He went and became a border patrol and has openly admitted to beating children on the border.
When did I do
We
that?
don't take him serious.
When did I do that?
You didn't whip the boy. What do you call it again? What do you call that whip again?
Stick. It was like a stick.
Could you guys provide evidence that that actually happened?
How do you guys have that
you said it.
detail?
Because we know Ariella. We know him.
When did I say that?
He's an idiot from Detroit. His family disowned him, and he went and converted and flew into Israel. Couldn't make it in America.
All right, stop. Ariel, if you're comfortable, and if not, that's fine. How much of that is true?
I have to say probably about like
all of it.
0.6%.
Yeah, exactly.
0.6.
All right, let's speak on this, the 0.6. That's true.
I came to Israel with my own fucking application because I had the money and the resources to do so, and that was the choice that I made for my life.
Are you from
Detroit?
Are you from Detroit?
And apparently, yes, I am. And apparently, that makes a lot of people. And apparently, that makes a lot of people upset.
No,
whatever reasons, I don't know.
We found his resume.
Oops. Sorry about that, Wednesday. That was my fault. Come back up.
No, I'll finish her sentence. She said that they found my resume online. I mean, it's public. It's in LinkedIn. And they found my American resume.
Found
and they tried to bring that up.
One at a time.
He works in the kitchen.
And they tried to, for some strange reason, there was some intel that was done on me, which was very entertaining. And they found my American resume that made reference to my culinary work that I've done in the States. And they're trying to equate that to me being.
Hold on, Wednesday. How am I supposed to hear?
And they're trying to equate that to some level of servitude or living as a, or living at the mercy of white folks in a country where, people do as they please, just like they do in America. And again, I don't know why these people are obsessed with my life.
Wait.
All right.
We do as we please in America.
Wednesday, go ahead.
We do as we please in America. We do.
So he says that only 0.6% is true, and what are your thoughts on that?
All of it is true. All of it is true.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Because he's been in Amir's room countless times. And this is as he is being quiet because she knows that he's a pathological liar too.
No, you know what's funny is, hold on, T. He said that only 0.6% was true, but yet when you asked him if he's from Detroit, he said yes, that was true. What I said, did he flee into Israel? He called it. He did it on his own will. I call it flee. He did go to Israel. That means he also admit to being in the border patrol and hitting Palestinian children. You ask him that. And he also, beat up an American Jew in Jerusalem. That was his first crime he committed there, because he was stalking the black rabbi.
All right. So beating children, as you're a border patrol beating children, what are your thoughts on that area?
I need the proof.
So you're not denying it? So you're not denying it?
I need the proof.
I'm sorry, just I don't know if we're gonna even get to that. I don't think we're gonna. Hold on. 1 second, SDSG writer. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ed.
For some reason, is it me or is it a little bit garbled, guys? Can you hear me clearly?
You're fine.
We can hear you.
Okay, so there again, I believe in proof too. Amir has almost 99.9% of the things that Wednesday and Resistance have spoken of on video. So it's easy enough to just put the videos in the back chat so that people can see what's being debated.
So let's do that.
As a matter of fact, I probably have, I know I have some of them, but why are we centering this narcissist on this stage? Honestly,
You're right.
Excellent question. Excellent question.
That's true. We know we feel it when we do this content. You're 100% right.
Shut up, Ariel. Shut up.
He literally creams his pants every time he gets to be the center.
So now we're going to sexualize the conversation.
Okay, put him. I was talking about shit.
So now
That's not sexual.
sexualize the conversation.
I said cream your pants. That was
Why are you
shit.
talking about me beneath my clothes?
All right, come on, you gotta clean it up. Let one mic. So go ahead.
But at the end of the day, most of this is on video. He again, he brags about being a border patrol and a member of the IDF and stomping out Palestinian kids and attacking Edward when he comes through the border. I mean, nobody takes him seriously.
Thank you. I said
But
he
these
said this
are
stuff
things
out of his own mouth.
Yeah, those are things that he said. But at the end of the day, you know, he's like that crazy uncle that comes through on Thanksgiving. You give him his medicine, you let him drool in his corner, you hand him some green Jello and a spork so he doesn't hurt
Not the green Jello. Not the green Jello.
And you move on. And you move on.
That's my favorite Jello, by the way.
Can I
That's
say
your
one?
attitude towards people.
Okay, it'll be up
Okay. That's very disturbing.
All right, just one quick thing, because you guys are all over the place. Just one quick thing. I've been here digging into the idea that non-Jewish residents in Israel have been denied or restricted access to bomb shelters, and somebody said it was propaganda.
No, there are Israelis.
Please.
Posting that on YouTube. I'm just confirming what you said.
I know. Okay, cool. But it's just when I get interested, my brain doesn't work anymore. It just freezes up. So I've been digging into that for the last couple of minutes, and it turns out it's overwhelmingly true. Based on what I'm seeing, it says evidence. France 24 reports that many Arab Israeli neighborhoods lack proper shelters during missile alerts, forcing residents to stay in inadequate public spaces, while Jewish areas saw prompt shelter deployment. Reuters' account of a missile hit in Tamra emphasizes that Arab towns lacked the necessary infrastructure, and residents began sleeping in schools for safety. Al Jazeera reports that Palestinian citizens were frequently denied access to shelters and described the situation as ingrained racism. And there's, multiple. The Guardian detailed the tragedy in Tamra, where homes lack reinforced shelters. It says Arab Palestinian citizens have faced significant shelter disparities compared to Jewish communities. There's some communities in Arab towns with exactly 0 bomb shelters. Matter of fact, it looks like there are multiple Arab towns with 0 bomb shelters. On and on. So it's not only a lack of access, it is being denied access, and also there's no infrastructure in a lot of Arab towns to even have any bomb shelters whatsoever. It's an ongoing problem. So whoever said it was propaganda is just not true.
I'd like to respond. Of course.
I'd like to respond, please.
Thank you, Roman.
Did it tell you in the articles that you read who was responsible for building infrastructures in those respective cities? Did it tell you that?
No, it speaks about the government infrastructure. So I'm assuming it's Israeli government responsible. But
Rohan, are you talking about being denied access to shelters, or who built it? Do you see how the goalposts always move?
In the process, you and I both know that if it's Israel, Uganda, or Saskatchewan, that there's a delegation of funds, and people are responsible for placing that money where it should go. And that some people decide, you know what, that's not an important part of our infrastructure, and we're not gonna waste our money on that, knowing good and darn well where they live and the political climate. And also, like I said before, the help that they will receive from non-participants, such as the majority of you on this room, to speak on their behalf when you don't even know how it works. So if it's disparaging, then it must be true. And if it's good, then the good is being done for some nefarious purpose. That's the rhythm and the pattern that I see.
Okay, so just real quick. So turns out it's under the auspices of the government and the defense ministry. And the government and defense ministry, it says, defense ministry announced new public shelters, so they actually administer building shelters. But noted that Arab majority towns were largely overlooked, as they currently have very few shelters to begin with. Bro, this is fucking crazy, bro. It's getting crazier than more.
His lies as usual.
So it's crazy, bro. But I have a question. Are you surprised
This is terrible, bro.
So
You know, I want to know, really and
one
truly, are you
person.
surprised now that you read that? I just want to know. Now that you just, as the room's been going on, are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Right, not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
So effed up that we're not surprised, right?
Everyone knows that the 20% of the Arabs in Israel are treated as second-class citizens. They even have laws
not
that
surprising.
go against them. Everyone knows these things.
Yeah, you know, even though
Ariel,
it is great to confirm something, you know, it's absolutely amazing, but it's so effed up when people are not surprised by something as crazy as that. Ain't that? Wow.
So Rohan, just to make sure I understand you clearly,
The
you
denial
mean
is
to
so
tell me
crazy,
that
bro.
there was one person? You mean to tell me there was one person who is the Minister of Defense, whose sole responsibility it is to allocate the funds and make sure that the execution of bomb shelters happens in every single community for a population of over 10 million people? That there's no system of delegation that gives these funds to people like city councils or mayors, who then they say it is your job and your responsibility to make sure that the people in your jurisdiction are protected. So you're telling me it's only one person who's in charge of it, and they've neglected to do that simply because they're racist.
So hold on. I just want people to see the like what's happening. First, it was the idea that people in Arab towns are being denied access to shelter was propaganda. That turned out not to be true. There are multiple reports from multiple independent sources that demonstrate that people were being denied access to shelters. So that was the first step. Then the second step,
particularly in Arab neighborhoods.
Yes, particularly, yes, correct. Second step was, were there even bomb shelters built in Arab neighborhoods? Like, do we even have like any shelters at all? And the answer to that is largely no. And then the question
Largely
was,
no, based upon what?
wait, hold on. And then the question was, who is responsible? I said the government and defense ministry. And then he said, well, just one person. It's the ministry. It's not just one person. It's
Okay,
the defense
so the ministry is not.
Bro, just
the ministry is not just one person.
Just let me finish. I don't like apologies because people do it all the time. So don't apologize. So it's the ministry. It's not just one person. It's the entire organization that is tasked with distributing money and building shelters. It's like infrastructure, like building trains and shit. And turns out that when that money is allocated to build shelters, those shelters are built everywhere except Arab majority towns. So there's multiple levels of things that we have to go through just now to prove that people are being actively discriminated against at the individual level, meaning that they come up to shelters and they're denied access, and at the infrastructural level, meaning that the government isn't actually assigning money to build structures in their towns. This is problematic, bro. Like, how can you escape this?
Because it's very simple, Rohan. If I'm the Minister of Defense and I allocate money to you to build the infrastructure that you need, because you said it's not just one person, to build what is needed in your community, and you decide to, I don't know, build yourself a new pool and expand your deck, that's on you. If you choose to do that with your money, that is your poor choice. And it is very easy, based upon the narrative that is presented, based upon the narrative that you would like to believe as a onlooker and a non-participant, to believe in the myth of the disparaged Arab under the boot of the barbarous white Israeli.
What about his first point about people being denied access, like walking into a shelter?
But just one place over that. I posted a link to the top.
He sidestepped that.
Just real quick. The Times of Israel, the link is to the top. Shelters erected in areas hit hard by missiles, but Arab towns again overlooked. And I guess $100 million for the entire country is nonsense, says Mayor of Tamra, etc. The Home Front Command and Defense Ministry have implemented a $100 million plan to revamp Israel's protective infrastructure following the war with Iran. Half the money is slated for the Home Front Command, etc. The shelters have already started going up in areas surrounding Tel Aviv, blah, 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 blah. Then...
Rohan, you're skipping over a lot of information.
No.
You're doing that on purpose.
I'm not. I can read the whole thing.
Why don't you
hold on. How do you know my intent? You can't figure out the intent of people that are being decimated, but the intent of people that are decimating people in the Gaza Strip, but you can now read my intent as I'm reading something. How is that possible?
Because those people are hypothetical.
Hold on. Years of this and you cannot figure intent, but you just magically know my intent. You don't know me. You never met me.
Your question. I'm answering your question.
Hold on, I did not ask a question.
No.
It was rhetorical, so let me keep going. I'm skipping over stuff because I know what is germane to the conversation and what is just... Matter of fact, let me give you an idea of what I skipped over.
So you're choosing to conceal information.
Bro, can you stay on mute? You have not yet allowed me to speak without interrupting one time. I'm going to ask, this is my formal request to stay on mute.
You got 30 seconds, my friend, to prove it.
Like Helly does. Go ahead, take your time, please. Do not
I'm sorry. Is that a green bean under your name, Rohan?
Yo, the privilege is crazy, bro. If I've seen this privilege is wild.
Typical that.
But he's one of the chosen.
Respect it and check it.
All right. Michael Rohan.
Move his sorry ass down to the audience just for 5 so you can get it through, Rohan.
Rohan, anybody that interrupts, I'm just gonna drop. I was just taking too long. Go ahead, Rohan, take it.
So just real quick, this is an example of what I skipped over. The shelters have already started going up in areas surrounding Tel Aviv, including Nibrak, Herzliya, Ramat Hasharon, Had Hasharon. However, Arab Israeli locales, despite a glaring shortage of protected spaces, have been largely overlooked in the campaign. I was actually just skipping over, like, reading up a list of cities I don't know how to pronounce. But you try to find some nefarious...
How convenient.
Can you let me finish? Why do you have this discipline? Impulse control.
Nah, T, drop him. For real.
He's gone.
He goes so crazy. So according to the Israel Democracy
And you
Institute...
can call Black Rabbi the next...
It would look so bad if I dropped it.
So it says, it's not even that long, it would have been done by now. A 2018 report by the state comptroller, this is not Rohan reading this, making this up, found that 46% of Arab citizens lived in buildings without protected spaces, compared to 26% of the general population. The report also found an almost total lack of public shelters in most Arab locales. So if you live in an Arab locale, including large cities like Rahat, Al-Fam, etc., there is a chance that there is 0 public shelters. That's what the report found, not me. I'll stop there so I don't bore the rest of the room, but the link is to the top.
All right, thank you, Rohan.
But Rohan, what else has to be taken into consideration, I myself have lived in Israel, is the disparity of resources in each of those communities. In the event that many of your resources have to go to infrastructure, food, shelter, etc., how do you have time, money to build bomb shelters? In the event that bomb shelters are built with public funds, why, which he never answered, wouldn't Christians, Muslims, or anyone else have access to those shelters? If it's all about saving life, if it's all about Israel being the greatest democracy in the Middle East, why is it that some lives are more worthy than others? That's the question he refused to answer.
His argument was very similar to the argument people make when it comes to poor Black and brown communities.
I was just about to say, you're absolutely
right. Like with schools, right? Like, well, why aren't these poor schools? Why don't they have their own laptops? Right? When you create a system that oppresses one particular group of people so that they do not have the money, they do not have the access, then yes, you do have to prioritize things. And if you are in an Arab locale and you're just trying to get basic services, you will not have the funding to also build bomb shelters. I actually didn't come up to talk about that. I just wanted to point out there's this, because that guy kept going on and on and on about how the racism in Israel is propaganda. I mean, is it propaganda when Israel admits that they sterilized Ethiopian Jews? Is it propaganda when Israel admitted that they took organs from Palestinian hostages? And I use the word hostages deliberately because they frequently kidnap and hold children and adults in prison for decades without trial. And when those people die, they admitted to taking their organs without consent of the person or before they died or the family, right? And of course, you can make the argument that is all historical. So is Dr. Perlman, a Jewish-American trauma surgeon who has worked in Gaza during this genocide and has pictures that he has taken of children
who have sniper bullets to the head and the chest. And he has reported that this is a frequent occurrence, and he is not the only physician who's reporting these things. Is that also propaganda?
It would have to be, because we're not allowed to criticize the actions of the IDF or the Israeli government. And the moment we do so, we become anti.
But this is the thing about Zionism, right? Zionism is so predicated on the idea of stealing, whether that's land, natural resources, burning olive trees. They stole the word Semitic. They literally tried to co-opt the word Semitic when Arabs are Semitic.
You know what I'm actually doing these days? I'm not even focusing too much on what these Zionists are doing. I've reversed it. This Zionism is about white Jewish perfection. It's about white Jewish freedom from culpability. It's about literally white supremacy. If you are white, if you are Israeli, if you live in Israel, you can commit no sin. You are guilty of no wrong. And any person who says different will be held accountable. That's the scariest part of all of this. Imagine telling people that their lives, I don't know if anybody else speaks Hebrew, but if you look at the link that I posted, he's literally telling Palestinians, no, you're not allowed to come down here. No, not because of any safety hazard. He's telling Christians, no, I'm sorry, it's not for you, it's for Jews only. And you know what I heard and saw in that moment? Imagine if that had been Anne Frank. Imagine if that had been German Jews hiding from the Nazis, not missiles, but just hiding from the Nazis. Non-Jews, Muslims, Arabs, people from all around the world hid you in bunkers, hid you behind panels of their walls, risked their lives to make sure you could hide from the Nazis and the Germans and live. For you to tell someone else, no, I'm sorry. There's a saying in Pirkei Avot that the one who says what's yours is mine and what's mine is the epitome of unrighteousness. That is how we know a complete wicked person. The person who says what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
Iran, breaking news, Iran just hit Qatar, so you can go Google it yourself.
Oh, good Lord. Thank you, Point.
Sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
But I want you to think about that. How did Jews survive Nazi Germany?
Listen, guys, sorry, another bit of breaking news. Are y'all watching what's in the chat? First of all, Amir, that better not be, what's his name again? Gosh, what is his name? Ariel. That better not be Ariel in that dang thumbnail in that first one. Play what you're watching. You better stop playing.
I'm the one that's holding the camera. I'm not the unkempt gentleman who's being recorded.
You're not the unkept gentleman. All right, so you're the.
Let me hear it.
All right, hold on one second. Let me see if I can try to.
Can we at least change the room title? If you're gonna make this about me, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely not. Give me 1 second. Trust me, it'll be a short little thing in this, and I know you love it. But we're gonna make sure that we focus on the title, which is gonna be "You in Denial." Give me 1 go. Let me try to get back over here.
And you've been blind to participation.
Between Israel and Iran is just a distraction.
Hold on,
Any American living in the...
So let's go. You're alerting the police. Let's go. No, the police station is right around the corner. No, it's not.
He's the one, so just as an FYI for you guys to hear this, he's the one saying, so I'm guessing you're or if you're saying you're the one behind the camera, you're the one who's saying the police station is around the corner.
And the gentlemen are on your platform right now.
Say that again?
Both gentlemen are on your platform right now.
Both of them? Who are both?
Black is the other guy. He's
Black.
On the far right.
Yeah. He's the unkept one in the video. That
yes, he's the unkept
Ariel
one.
called the unkept one. Okay, got it.
And Ariel looks
Ariel
like
called
he's
out Captain Blake. But Ariel looks like a bum bitch in this shit. End of the day.
It's
they both look
All right,
like
come on.
Not,
Just
are they
play,
both in the
play.
camera? Okay, let me play it. All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's go back.
So
Y'all loving this.
That's Black.
No, police station is right around the corner. No, it's not. I already contacted them. They're coming in, and I'm filing a report against you for harassment, for intimidation, and for threatening my life.
You're gonna also file about those girls you said touched?
Your mom and sister would testify.
Okay, where are they gonna testify from? Where are they gonna testify from? Where are they gonna testify from? Bro, this is public. Bro, this is public domain. This is public domain, bro.
How public it is?
This is public domain.
How public it is?
Oh my.
Bro, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life?
What is he showing? I can't even see. I don't even know what it says.
Number one, a black person not connected to the Torah is a nigga.
So hold on, let me just stop and just let y'all know that Black tried to attack Ariel because Ariel was bothering him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can hear from the video, that was Ariel, and he definitely got snuffed. Phone dropped out of his hand.
I mean, you could ask me if I could
He got mushed at least, okay? He dropped his phone. Oh, there's another part to it. Huh?
Play the last video.
Oh, no, there's more, and then I'll play the next part of the next video, the other video that Amir has.
Definitely.
No problem.
Yeah,
let me just play the Black 31 seconds of this. Hold on 1 second. Let's go.
Individual.
This is
Black.
Black.
The problems in our community are random murders, killing, giving drugs to our neighbors, all this type of stuff. This is a byproduct of no Torah, right? And Ariel going around harassing other Jews, right? Women, people, the whole thing, me, the whole thing. He's just going around harassing. And you know why? And right now I'm talking to the Jewish community.
This is
Oh, wait, here he goes.
Torah.
Ew, that's you? You need, okay, sorry, listen. While I get this other video going, I'm just gonna let you know, exfoliate, and don't ever put the camera that close if you did not exfoliate, okay? You want me to do that one, Ezra? All right, let's go to the next one. Please, what is this? What is this?
For you to keep money taken out of your check, and then for the municipality to live and work for goods and services, you get robbed, bro. I cannot go home. Solid. I stay home.
Are you smoking weed?
5 years for holding up a school bus full of underprivileged youths on the way to see the point. I mean, if it wasn't for me going to jail, I wouldn't have got vote. So that's how it's on me. So
Jail?
what are you saying? You're gonna ask me, why you scared? So how can we strong?
Remember what I said about a Frank Punker?
What you do is you get you like $80 and then you keep it in one of these, put it in the sun so that it permeates. They're gonna die.
This is not you.
I mean, this is how you want,
That is definitely him.
Where's that at?
What are you doing?
I'm here. Can I answer?
That's plastic. That's a plastic gun. Guys, I cannot watch this. 30 more seconds.
Make this shit up.
Hotel.
Black man is in danger. We gotta do whatever we can to stay where we at right now. Yeah, they can bring me back some arm hammer and some
This is not real. There's no way. You better stop it.
That's it.
You better stop it.
Panda, can I respond, please?
This is ghetto.
This is the most ghetto thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
What you just watched was a parody video.
I mean, it's clear it's a parody, but I'm still very disappointed. I mean, obviously it's a parody.
You're not supposed to be proud. That's the point. You're supposed to be disappointed.
I was not proud. I didn't say proud.
Okay.
What made you think that?
What was that?
It was an attempt to try to redirect the conversation.
And I could have watched it on silent and felt the same. Now there is. Oh my gosh, how many of these are there? Is it parody too?
Wow, just now. Did you hear recently? Wow. However, as far as I'm concerned, nobody makes Aliyah. Nobody even stops here on a layover unless you have divine permission. So the minute my feet touch the soil, I'm home, baby.
Okay.
Wait, hold up. Can you bring Amir up? Amir, where's that video with the ice cream with the head and all the rest of that?
Why are you so active online? I just don't understand. Hold on, let me go back to Amir's.
Because you have people like Amir and Ezzy that like to share these videos. People do the work.
Actually, it's because he's a narcissist who gets no other attention in his life other than for bucks.
All right.
Ma'am, I've never met you a day in my life.
Again, Amir, can you put that video up for us?
Yeah, Amir, please do.
Pretty sad.
Ezzy, I appreciate your concern. God bless you.
Pretty sad.
What's sad?
Hold on.
Which video are you talking about? Black
You remember the one where he was talking about killing Palestinian babies? Where he was talking about if Edward came through Border Patrol, what he would do when he was trying to flex like he was part of the IDF when he wasn't?
Oh my God.
Never said I was in the IDF.
Yeah, the
What?
direct.
Hold on, give me a moment. I think he posted them at the top as a. Just give me a moment. Ooh, geez, that's a lot.
And it's only 3 videos that I put.
I mean, between you there's a lot going on.
So did you hit the Palestinian kid? Oh, he's on the phone.
See the video, T?
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, it's crazy. Is he in Israel now?
That's what we claim.
Well, we don't know because he claims that he was able to get a charter flight.
Guys, I do have something here. I have a couple things. This is from Amir. Thank you, Amir, for the information. Everybody, give me 1 second. I think I need to switch the modes real quick. My audio. All right, I'm on standard. All right, perfect. All right, so you guys.
And we're back. This is entertaining. Let's keep this.
All Gazans should die. Yeah. But you also got a lie on you. You know what?
Listen.
You said that all Gazans should die. Yeah. But you also got a lie on you. You know what? Do you know why I said that?
Wait, including the children? Kill the children?
Yeah, including the children.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear it out of his mouth. I just got back. Including the children?
Yes, including the children. Do you know
There's no innocent child. There's no innocent child. Yeah.
There is no innocent child because all the children are being raised to be members of you on this stage and also myself. And also all of these women are feeding and clothing and reproducing with these hateful bastards.
Hey, we heard you.
Oh my!
Oh my goodness!
That's right. That's right. I said it.
If you've ever seen a whipped slave like this, here you go. Finally seen one.
You said kill
That's
it.
right. I said it.
Wow.
Why you take issue with it? If you do, what can you do about it?
I guess I can't do anything. That's disgusting.
We can't because you're hiding in Israel like a coward. Come back to America and we'll show you what we can do.
Are an observer. I think you guys just need to stay in the place.
Stay in your place, right? Wow.
This dude is sick.
Nah, you guys just want me to be who you want me to be. Sorry, it's not
But
gonna happen.
now that he's revealed himself to be a
Hold
liar,
on, we have one more. We have one more.
why people have the issues that they do. Imagine denying it less than 10 minutes ago. I never say that it's only 2% true.
I have one more. 37 seconds, guys. 37 seconds. Right here.
That's to killing 13 or 14 Palestinians.
Excuse me, gladly killing 13. And it's 13. It's not 13 or 14. It's 13. Old man, take your medicine. It's 13.
13 Palestinians, and how many kids are there? How many kids did you beat up while you're border patrolling the border?
Just one.
Okay, just one. Okay. And you said last time you beat him up with the switch, right? You hit him on his legs or whatever with the switch.
I understand that we have to keep revisiting this because of your condition, but the answer is yes. I hit him on his legs with the switch.
Okay.
Didn't you just say that you did not do that? And that he asked you how much of that story was true? You said 0.6%. Was that the 0.6?
My energy bill dropped from $150.
Was that the 0.6?
He gave his version of
He
the story.
asked you what percentage of it was true. Was the 0.6% of it being true was that you did beat up a kid?
Madam,
No, that was not within his 0.6.
And the tape speaks for itself.
I told you I don't lie, people. I told you an accurate description of this idiot.
Yeah, you did.
So
Yes,
at the end of the day,
You
what
tried
can
to
we do
deny
about it?
before. You tried to deny before. That's
What can you guys
crazy.
do about
You are a sick bitch.
What
That's
can be done?
so high pitched. You're little
Damn,
I can
sick
tell.
ass bitch.
I can tell.
Why are you talking about me?
I can tell why you had to get off by going ahead and beating up and killing Palestinians. You got a little fucking dick. You could just.
So there's nothing. So you're saying, okay, wait a minute. So there's nothing. So there's nothing that can, what can you do about it? Like, it's nothing. But for research purposes only, since we're here. Goodness gracious. So you're from Detroit, right? And then when did you move to Israel?
You didn't hear it in the tape?
Either I did or I forgot.
Okay. Well, all the
You don't want to
evidence is
answer
there, so I can't help you. Anything else? You got your evidence. Anything else you need to know? No.
I can't hear you. I mean, if you have a little attitude, then we'll just skip right over you.
Just a little, so you guys could kind of, I guess, even though it's not understandable.
Since you don't want to participate, he's very salty right now. He doesn't want to participate. You can go ahead.
Even though his actions and his words are comprehensible and how he thinks, but I just want a lot of you to know that he openly admitted. I don't know if they have the recording still. His family disowned him behind him leaving to Israel. He even said he didn't have a relationship with his father. His father disowned him. This is where all that trauma is coming from. So he, uses all of that hatred towards other people. That's just how he is. He's just a sick individual that way.
Yikes.
What a fucked up mess.
Don't blame Palestinians. Blame your daddy. It's okay.
Yeah.
For you.
Kill all the children. That's crazy.
Yeah. Just like if daddy tried to kill you. This is terrible.
Goodness gracious. But yeah, man. Clubhouse boy.
Sheesh. Well, that's interesting. My goodness. Wow.
I put another.
Oh my goodness! Not there's
tiny
more.
documentary in there. It's 6 minutes long. You can see that he lives in the ghettos part of Israel. He gets his news from the sticky notes on the wall, and he said his mom and sister don't talk to him. But he changed his religion from, I think he was a Christian, and then he converted to Islam, and then from Islam to Judaism. He says in that small documentary.
So the ghetto is part of Israel?
Yeah, you can check
And
it
this is
out.
to prove that all black men really and truly need mental health counseling. It's not a joke.
That's real. That's this
Wow.
is crazy shit right here.
Hold on, I'm about to play that next video. Let's see. Oh, this is long. Hold on, this one's a long one. Let's just try to skip to. Eee! Yikes! Oh my gosh, I need you to bathe. Oh god! Every time I leave, I'm flipping through this, and I see this disgusting. This guy, what is this? Oh God, he is so primitive. My goodness. Sir, babe, please, exfoliate.
But Black Rabbi is the one who's unkempt, remember?
Oh God, he's unkempt. He's worse than him. Actually, I don't know who's worse.
No, they actually almost like twins. They really are.
Oh, I had a wonderful childhood. My father.
He had a wonderful childhood? What did he say? Ew, you're walking around like you're homeless.
Ariel. Hey. Oh, I had a wonderful childhood. My father, he was a police officer for 17 years, then a school board trustee, then he became the mayor.
Hold on, stop, guys. Do y'all hear the background music? How cute is that? Sorry. It's like little sad violin shit. Oh my God, how cute is the music? All right, here we go.
So, I asked my father, why are we Christian? He said, we're Christian because the man that owned your grandfather's father.
You cannot, oh my God, his nostrils are
you have to make a decision for yourself. Is this something I'm going to pass on to my family? I decided no. But then I started reading the Quran in depth and the Hadith. You're like, okay, where do I go now? And then, you know, Shia, Sunni, whose side do you need to be? After this is over with, this thought process, it's like, okay, well, what is left? The bare bones, like when you boil everything down, what's left in the bottom of the pot is Judaism. I said, okay, this is the way that I need to go. Went through a conversion process. I mean, first thing, you gotta come to a realization. That realization.
Oh God, it's boring.
Okay, warrior scholars, the mental defense, the spiritual defense, the physical stuff. Symbolist by nature, this is my claim. I think they're even look, the way that we
boring.
Most important concentration, which is Hebrew. What's the third thing? Pray for clarity. Pray for clarity.
I cannot watch this homeless shit. I really can't. He just looks like such a bum. It's so disgusting. It really is. It's so trash. He's so embarrassing to Black Americans. My goodness. My goodness. He's just so embarrassing walking around Israel looking like that. Like you can at least like wash your clothes. My goodness. This is horrible.
Or put on some of that olive oil. Israel is.
He's so disgusting.
Looking straight ashy.
Ugh.
But bigger than that, I mean, he seems like a lost soul who was looking to find himself somewhere else. I'm not mad.
I don't understand what made him so lost. His father was great. He was a police officer.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, shout out to great parents. I mean, you know, what made him so lost, poor thing. Oh well. It is what it is. Here's normal. Oh God. Does he want to speak to his?
I think we should ask the normal. How does it make you feel Netanyahu is giving weapons to ISIS?
Zero evidence of that.
We discussed this last night. What to ISIS?
So
weapons to ISIS.
What
Netanyahu
did first? Netanyahu first funded Hamas, right? $15 million coming in.
I dispute that. You are incorrect.
According to Ehud Barak, that's the former Israeli prime minister, and the Times of Israel said they blew up in their face, this whole funding Hamas. Now, recently, about 2 weeks ago, according to Times of Israel, Netanyahu gave weapons to ISIS that steals aid from the Palestinians inside Gaza and sells it for triple the price.
So you think ISIS is in Gaza right now?
I'll put the link in the chat. He was actually locked up. Hamas kept him locked up until you blew up the building that he was locked up in.
Yes.
Your people did that.
Hamas did steal the aid.
And then they put him, the IDF, right? They put him on their payroll, and this is what they did. They gave him weapons, and recently a Knesset member came out, and he's told everybody, right? It was posted all over the news and whatnot. Let me put the link in the chat.
Yes, I've heard all of your nonsense in your rooms. It doesn't make it less nonsensical when you change rooms, Amir. It's very silly. You have no connection to this matter. You're an American from India with no one. You couldn't find this area on a map. So it's just your ignorance is embarrassing, which is why Palestinians boycott your room.
Again, more ad hominem, more falsehood.
No, I'm talking about what he says, not who he is. I already told. Yes, I did enough.
At the bottom it says.
Yes, I did deny it. That's the first thing I did was deny it. And then I
Put the link
mentioned
in
that
the
he's
chat.
got no
At
basis.
the bottom of it, it says Islamic State, that's ISIS, giving weapons to ISIS. And it's the testimony is coming from a Knesset member. Like we have Congress in America, they got Knesset inside Israel.
I just want to point out.
How would the Knesset know this?
I just want to point out that this is a standard argument that El Normo makes, as if whether or not you can find a country on a map means you're not educated on what that country is doing.
That is correct. That is correct. If you can't take the time to look
You're
at a
still
map,
an idiot.
then you can't. I beg your pardon?
You don't need to beg my anything. You're an idiot.
Oh, well, maybe you're the idiot. If you can't find it on a map, who's the schmuck?
Hey, fuckwit.
Yes.
I know more.
Yes, dipshit.
You genuinely believe that I, who is infinitely smarter than you, cannot find something on a map.
It's I who am, you half-wit, not I who is.
Right.
You semi-literate. That's not an ad hominem.
Sir,
Amir,
you
did you
are.
put that link in the back chat? Let the facts speak for itself.
Yeah, I put the link in the
not
one
true.
you guys.
Synthetic cocaine. He got caught in.
Right. Talk about lying. Right.
I don't know why. I don't know why. This is the. I don't really care
Which
about.
form of Muslim lying are you doing today?
One at a time.
I don't really care about. I don't really care about
Jewish
Amir. I mean, I don't know if this is Amir the anti-vaxxer, in which case he is an idiot. But El Normo is a Zionist piece of shit.
Well, I am a Zionist, but I'm not a piece of shit. I think everybody is a Zionist.
Zionist equals piece of shit. So Zionist.
I don't understand. No.
Did you just say everyone
That's not
is a
surprising.
Zionist?
That's not at all surprising. Yes, I did say that.
Zionists are just people who have a right to a homeland.
And we are now witnessing the death knell of an evil ideology, and
I don't think
here
so.
for it.
We just saw victory on 7 fronts. It's kind of the opposite of the death knell.
Right.
I think Israel has emerged.
All of the people crying because you fucked around and found out
Hold on, real quick.
Nobody is crying.
Victory. The news out of Tehran, and even they're starting to report it in the Wall Street Journal reported through the Tehran spoken. They did not harm their nuclear program. They did not harm it.
That's not what the IAEA says.
They haven't even reported on it. They haven't even went into the site.
Actually, you just didn't look because you're not that bright.
Idiots.
Yeah, they
Everyone
did
is
indeed
already
report on it.
reporting it. The people who even went to the bomb site, they were there with no protective gear. There's no radiation, nothing. They moved all of their equipment for the Iran won.
That was the IAEA.
Yeah, it's just disgusting. Yeah. What a mess of a room. A hot mess. Yeah, I don't want to do this. Wow. Creepy drunk New York Jew today. It's disgusting.
These Zionists just are intense. They just cannot admit to end. Like, it's fascinating. They can't do it. It's crazy.
Okay, so what are the numbers?
Okay, so we had Jew was blind. Ariel had to be dropped. He's just a hot mess. I mean, he looks like that, so he lost.
Ariel is a little twisted roach. Oh my God, somebody needs to put.
Honestly, I'd rather a roach next to me than Ariel.
No, they're weasels.
And everybody knows I hate bugs.
Oh, no, it's true. No, Ariel weasels.
He literally looks like a silverback. I'm sorry.
Just ghetto. So Ariel,
like a trash gorilla.
I didn't get to see. Listen.
It's a silverback. You know what? I could.
We have Daniel here. Daniel is a Zionist.
Hey, Daniel.
Who is
With the blue background, with the blue picture.
I don't know. He has the racist hands.
I'll invite you up, Daniel.
You guys ain't gonna want to talk to him. He thinks he's more feminine than you guys.
Wait, so somebody said Daniel is the most crazy one. There's no way.
There's no way. If you have normal, there's
No, he's the most feminine one. He's not the most crazy.
He keeps on
well,
saying,
maybe he would actually be able to have a great conversation.
If you're human beings on your morality, you guys are living in delusion. Israel's protecting you from the bad Muslims.
Okay. Let's see. Daniel, come on up. I think maybe you're saying he's the most feminine, like, I mean, maybe he can actually have a conversation.
More like bitchy.
Children. Oh, he's bitchy. Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Let's give him a
And he
shot.
likes to call women C-U-N-T. He likes to call women C-U-N-T, which is very misogynist. I don't know.
I kind of like the word. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's cute. I love it when guys say. Oh, look at her. It's like a cunt.
It's a weird word.
Oh my God, one of my favorite words.
So look,
you guys discover Ariel? Sorry, I had to go out. Did you guys discover Ariel and how warped and his mind is delusional and mental health issues?
Yeah, I'm not even. I like the more I think about it, like I kind of just feel bad for him at this point because like he needs some help. Poor thing. Yeah, it's just I feel bad. I'm not letting you up here unless Daniel comes up here. I want Daniel to come up because he's big.
I just want to say real quick that I've encountered a lot on this app.
Thank you.
Quite a bit over the last 4 years. I have never encountered this level of depravity. We had a person on stage celebrating the violence against children. I don't think I've seen that. I've been here for a long time. I've been through multiple.
Who did that?
Who did that?
Ariella.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're a disgusting human being.
Let him finish one.
Yeah, no, I'll land there. But I really am over here like this is just. I'm at a loss for words, legitimate loss for words. Probably for the person on this app.
And Rohan, that's a black man from Detroit. Imagine what people from other places are saying.
Jesus.
Disgusting.
Oh, thank you, Easy, for saying that's when I lost my train of thought. That's what I want to say. This is a black American saying this. Imagine what those European Jews be saying and how they act and think. I know because I live around some of them here in Manhattan in New York. They're scum, man. They are evil people.
Have you heard of any of them? I'm sorry, we're making it a race thing. I'm just curious now. Have you heard any of them say, you kill all the children? They kill all the children.
Yeah, of course. I don't hear none of them. I live here in New York too, and I'm telling you right now that I've had such I've honestly never encountered. Let me be very clear. A Jewish person. Now, a Zionist, I don't know, but as far as what I know, as far as a Jewish person, I've always had pretty pleasant interactions. I've never had an issue at all.
It's called progressive until.
Yeah, I've never had an issue. Yeah, so in regard to like. Yeah, in regard to Jewish people, I've never had an issue. Zionists, I never really met. I couldn't tell you if one was a Zionist or not, but I mean, they've been, as far as them being.
I've never heard anybody.
Well, majority of them are Zionists, especially the ones here in New York City. And I've encountered many of those scum, because I go to a lot of the rallies. And a matter of fact, 2 months ago it was now? Did any of you guys not see when Ben Kavir came to New York and all of the people were protesting? Those Jews in Brooklyn Zionists attacked women. It went viral all over the place. They were beating women, hitting them with cones, kicking them, while NYPD facilitated it. This is what they do.
I saw a video where there was a woman.
There's a bunch of videos of it, of course.
Like a whole mob of guys like after her. But again,
hundreds.
I couldn't tell you who was at those things. I ain't never been in one of those. Listen, I just know that.
Well, I have. I went viral. Everyone knows me on this app. I'm one of the people who was at the I was one of the people at the rally group. I'm knocking one of the teeth out of one of their Israeli mouthpieces. My name is Esau. I know him. All of them know me. I knocked his teeth right out his mouth for being a terrorist.
There's a video of you knocking somebody's teeth. Show me. Can I get the video?
Of course there is. At Columbia University.
Oh my gosh. Let me look for it.
I go to all the rallies. Everyone knows me.
He was doing God's work.
Was it Norma?
Of course I was. He's an Israeli mouthpiece. He was here terrorizing a lot of the college students on campus. He was harassing 2 young Jewish women, protesters, and I intervened and I gave him what he was looking for.
My goodness.
How does that make you feel?
It made me feel great. You seen the video, Ariella. I did what I would do to
yeah, that's crazy.
I would like to say that Zionists lost yesterday. The new mayor will be Zohan. Thank you very much.
Muslim mayor of New York City, baby.
Yeah, primary. I know, but you gonna win it all. We coming out in masses.
What if it
that
doesn't?
video, I really do want to just watch it. It seems so fun.
We coming out in
I'm
masses.
going to put it in the chat right now. Hold on.
I'm so excited.
Oh, so when it's violence against Jews, it's fun, right? I got it.
No, this is a Zionist thing.
They're not Jews. They're terrorists. Those are terrorists.
I have literally said that I've never met a at least Jewish person, okay, that has been unpleasant. That's ever been unpleasant to me ever.
So when they are unpleasant, i.e. they're
They are, listen, Zionists.
Can I finish my question? No, I
not
heard you.
all
Can I finish my
Zionists
question?
are Jews.
Relax, let her finish.
Calm down, Ariella.
I'm very calm, and my name is Ariel.
Please, don't interrupt. Just let her finish.
That's all I was saying. All I was saying is that there's no, I don't appreciate the violence against Jewish people at all.
Okay.
I just spent time saying
Everybody go to the link in the chat real quick.
Oh my gosh.
There's been plenty
I saw this. This is what I saw.
There's been plenty of Jewish people, like, what's her name? She works for Cold Pink. This poor woman, she's been fighting for the Palestinian cause since the 1970s. And they just be roughing her up in Congress, like Capitol Police. What's her name? Medea Benjamin? And she's a Jewish woman. And she says, how dare you commit a genocide on the Palestinians using Judaism? Zionism literally hijacked Judaism to do atrocities. That's what's happening.
God forbid if violence escalates in the United States, how many of you all are willing to take up arms to defend either side?
Man, listen, shut up. You over there with the Israelis oppressing people. Don't you worry what's happening over here.
It ain't gonna be no kids.
Will this much?
Children.
Will this
We living in the 1950s or 60s.
Hold on for a second. Wait. Why are you on stage?
You're breaking up, T. You're breaking up.
You didn't want to answer questions?
I answer questions and then I let the tapes speak for themselves.
Answer this question for me.
I'm saying, why is he on stage asking people questions? You want to answer questions, you call it an attitude.
Because the tapes can speak for themselves.
No, I ask you a simple question, you call it an attitude.
What was your
you want to
question?
do it, I respect it, you're the goof. I don't know anymore. I don't give a fuck. I think I heard enough of his bullshit.
I want to know. I just want to know.
Don't piss me off by asking some kind of moral question on the stage. You say you want to kill all the children. Are you kidding me? Don't try to be moral.
Said that?
Don't piss me the fuck off.
Wednesday, wait.
Why does that hurt your feelings, my dear?
It doesn't hurt my feelings. Don't piss me off. All right, and don't
I
insult my.
have
a question.
I've already given you grace by letting you sit up here and you'll be silent. Or you can sit up here and enjoy and listen to it. But what do you think I need from you? Kill all the children.
Oh, you don't need anything from me.
I have a question, Ariella.
I'm not trying to hear too much from this little mentally diseased roach. I don't give a fuck about that.
Ariella, I have a question.
Like, it's fun.
Ariella, I have a
You got your
question.
videos. Don't take too long on this, nigga. It's gross.
I won't. All right, Ariella, question. Why when he asked you before if you said this and you just denied it? Like, what the hell? Why did you do that?
Because the way that he presented the story was untrue, and now you have to take to speak.
You presented
Hold on,
way more.
Hold on, madam. I'm answering your question. The way that he presented his story was untrue, and now you have the tapes to speak for themselves.
So, what part was untrue?
I'm not the person that spun the lie. You have to ask the person who made that.
No, you said it was untrue, so you're the one making the claim that it was.
He said everything that was said was untrue, aside from him being from Detroit and going to Israel.
What was untrue is that I fled.
That's what he said was true. That was the 0.06%. Everything else, including hitting children, was untrue.
I'm sorry,
That's what he
Ariel,
said. He literally lied.
Go ahead,
Talk what I'm
Ariel.
talking.
Why did you lie? Why weren't you proud of it?
Go ahead, Ariel. Are you referring to me, Ariel, or
Don't
Ariel?
talk. Hey, listen. That's your answer to your question? What is your next one?
I just wanted to know why didn't he stand on his business? That's what he
Because he's a. Why do you think?
Oh, let him answer.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
What did you just say?
I said I can hear you now.
So why didn't you stand on business when it came to you beating up a child?
Because the way that it was presented.
You know I love doing that.
You
Sorry.
stupid bitch. You pussy motherfucker. Use my language. You such a.
The funny thing is, I presented it much more lighter than how he
Much lighter.
was bragging
You
about it.
did.
You can't say something like you want to kill all the children over there and worry about how something's presented. Oh, you presented it in a way that, nigga, you said you wanted to kill all the children over there. What kind of presentation, what kind of bow are you looking for that package? Stupid.
Why is he blaming you?
Talking about how does it make you feel? Don't worry about my feelings. You're the one that wants to kill all the
always
children.
somebody else's fault.
Fucking gosh, I've never seen a bigger loser than this.
By the words of his own mouth.
That's Rohan. I was telling you earlier, right? And other people in the room, I was like, it's just the most low confidence, fucked up in the brain, fucked up inside. No self-esteem
I just
that
want
make these
everyone to know
profound stuff. Why do people talk when I'm talking? It's crazy. They make these profound statements, and then when you go to examine them, what did you say? Let me understand it. They get offended and embarrassed. They don't want to stand on it. But just shut your bitch ass up. Just close your mouth. Don't say it then. You took the time to say it. When we don't take the time to understand it, you're embarrassed. You switch up, and you backpedal, and you pussy pop, and you look so fucking stupid. And it's all of them. This one is the worst one. It's disgusting. This room right here, it was Zionists are in denial. Anytime we can get the room organized, they were cornered into making some sense. And I really don't think that's the worst corner to be in. I mean, gosh. They ran. Okay? They ran and flipped out. You couldn't get a hold of them. This room did not go the way that it didn't reach my bar. I like things to be organized. It was all over the motherfucking place. I expected a level of that, of course, but I couldn't barely moderate the motherfucking good. And I understand that this issue is something that, is terrible. It's a terrible thing that's happened. It's a terrible thing to talk about. But there's key things that I wanted displayed. Okay. And that at least that was accomplished. What happened was the question that was presented was, hey, is there genocide in Gaza? Okay, so Pikachu says, well, if you look up the ICJ's law on genocide, it has to fulfill certain requirements, criteria. And he started with intent. Can you prove intent? Mm-hmm. Right? And we spent a lot of time, trying to prove, what was obvious by some and, not obvious at all by others, or nobody knew it was Berkey, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. So I'm listening, right? Understanding. We went all over the place. It was a hot, fucked up mess. It is what it is. Sure, it was some shit that wasn't respectable. I cannot respect people like that. But here I am. I'm listening. I presented a scenario to them to see if they would maintain that school of thought that they detailed throughout for hours, where it was, I basically asked, in 1942, if you saw Jewish people being herded into cattle cars, gassed and buried in mass graves, would you say that was, would you try to convince them, like you're doing right now, right? Would you try to convince them and everyone around that is not genocide? I was accused of weaponizing trauma and all these words. It's not going to work for me. I'm sorry. You have to make sense around here. I'm not going to buy it. So the emotional thing that you guys be trying to do, it's not going to work. Please, you're guys with the switch slow. So after we got out of that tactic, it didn't work. I noticed that didn't get an answer. Aside from Panda, who did answer the question, is that genocide? Panda, would you consider genocide in 1942? Mind you, there's no proof of intent, and this is what they required. Okay? Panda said, of course I would. Yes, absolutely. I said, now use their thoughts. Now, everything you learned on how you go about the situation, all right, or analyze the situation and determine whether or not genocide is occurring, and use Pikachu and everybody else's thoughts. Would it be? No. So this is really not a hard thing to navigate. When you change the scenario or the people within the scenario, right? You couldn't get it wasn't easy, you know? They could say it easily here, no, it's not genocide. I don't see a ruling on it, okay? But back in 1942, all right, it was ongoing, much like the Gaza conflict is ongoing. This wasn't deemed a genocide or a crime against humanity until years later, after it was done. So if they followed their own logic, they'd be sitting up the whole time saying, no, it's not genocide. Where's the proof? Does it meet the criteria? It's obvious. It can be.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Goodness, what a low integrity, fucked up group of people.
Sure. Did you read out the statements coming from the officials of
Your background is messed up.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it better?
It's better.
Okay, I said, did you guys read out the statements of the Ben Gavir and Yoav Galant and whatnot, what they've said? They've said genocidal shit.
I don't know. I get asked Panda. I wasn't listening for a while.
Yeah, we read some of them, like calling people animals and calling for people to be decimated into a tent city and calling for blocking food and water but yeah, there's like 6 or 7 different statements that were made that were included in the ICJ court case.
Nice. So they're making it more easier. Like day by day, they've made it so easy to prove intent.
One thing about people like this is like they don't realize how clear, they are. Like I don't know who you think you're fooling. I mean, even by producing that argument, how about a 10? I can't say that it's genocide. Like it's like you think you're slick. I don't know. Slick at all.
I mean, when you talk to Jewish people internally, they never deny it. They never deny.
You mean Zionists who support this?
No, they don't feel that they are not right. They feel like they're superior to others. They say it openly. I remember my Bible teacher who was a young student, 25 years old, and we come in the discussion because I thought she's an open-minded, normal girl, and then I asked her what she thinks about the conflict 12 years ago. And I said, do you agree that 2 children's lives are more worse than 1? And then she looked at me and said, what do you mean? What do you want to tell me? I said, if you kill 2, it's one more than another. But she said, a Jewish child is worth 10 or 20 children, not only 1. So I don't feel at all sorry for any Palestinian child. And this was deep out of her heart. This is a brainwash they get from small childhood. They really feel superior. They feel that their lives is worth more. And this is why they have it. And there's a TikToker who openly make videos with Israelis, youth on universities and they say openly, he asks them, do you feel sorry for the children who die? They say, what for sorry? No, they should all die and burn in hell. We don't care. They are not children. They are not worth nothing. Our Israeli children are much more worse than them. This is a mindset they don't even deny it. This is openly, and somebody tries to hide it, and there is no difference, absolutely no difference between Adolf Hitler warning the Jews in 1932 saying, you have time to go out of the country. If you don't like my politics, please leave. What do the Jews do with the Gazans? They say, you can leave if you want. But they don't even have, so it's worse what the Israelis are doing to Gaza than what Adolf Hitler did to them. Let's be realistic. Let's be clear about it. There's no doubt. And I think Israelis who are denying that, they just try to act in front of the Western world differently. But when they internally, they would never say that they feel sorry for any Palestinian child who dies. Never. They don't feel it in their heart.
Whatever they feel. I mean, can you be accurate?
So they seem to be talking in Hebrew right now. I'm actually using a translator. Daniel is being an emotional bitch like always. Ariel is agreeing with Daniel because he's a coon. And now he actually called us animals walking, I don't know. And something about America, God forbid if something happened to Americans, whatever. Don't worry, guys, I'm doing the translating because they're talking in their language, but I think they're trying to curse us out in their language to say certain shit.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm not much worried. Thank you, though. And speaking of language, just be careful with our language, too. You know, my issue in this discussion is for people that will support shit like this, put whoever they are. I don't care if I don't give a fuck if you're some roach from Detroit, you know? I don't care who you are, what religion you are. This is disgusting. You support genocide, you support the Holocaust, you support whatever's happening that point. It's just, get some help. Shouldn't be hard to say that.
I think we should just imagine.
You have a problem first, and I think that's the scariest part. You have to know that you have an issue. You can't just be brain dead. You can't just be mentally ill. You can't just be walking around in a cloud assuming you're normal. I mean, I really want you to think about the psychopaths that walk the earth today. Most of them could never be told that they have issues or that they need therapy or otherwise. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad. We've got a president dropping F-bombs on public and international stages. Like, it's a normal cause, you know? Like, it's normal fare. Think about that. Some of the most fragile, and forgive me, I'm just going to put it out there, some of the most fragile and flaccid, tiny dick individuals are those folks. I'm not even going to put it out there on your stage, are those folks. They have nothing better to do than sit with tweezers and try and find themselves, no pun intended. Anytime you think it's okay to kill children, and for you to like stand all 10 toes down, like that was something good to say. Caleb is a father. He's a fuck shit in my estimation. If you even heard Ariel say something like that, and you did not stand against it, pretty sick. Right.
Oh my God.
This bitch ass nigga say that I tried to get him to be my student. Is he fucking retarded?
We know that he's mental issues.
When I already know it.
He has mental issues.
Why you mad because you didn't? This man walking around with a white man on his PTR talking about other people's lives. That's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. You not, Ariel, you don't want me to start talking about your daddy. We got a file on that too. You really want round two? Back up, sit in the corner, eat your jello. Eat your jello. It's about to get ugly. What'd you call him? Silverback looking bitch. You need to back up.
I wish Caleb would have came up because you want to know a passive aggressive Zionist who says, I'm on your side. I'm the only one that's on your side. And I would gaslight the shit at you at the same time. That's Caleb. He will make you, he will question, like, is he, like, then you'd be like, nah, motherfucker, it's a genocide. Fuck you.
That's dumb. It's really psychopathy. It's not even a joke. I do not know one black Jewish man living over there who didn't run there trying to find himself, who didn't end up single and playing with themselves in a corner. Not one. They're either gay, like Ron/Michael, or they're devastated that some white Jewish woman didn't want them. That's how it works. That is how it works.
Do you know Lieb? He was in here earlier.
He's kind of scary.
Yeah.
He's kind of scary. Caleb, white man, that's not your sentence, boo. You don't get to talk about black Jews. Sit in your white supremacist patriarchal space and learn something. Your Jewfro doesn't count in this court. Sorry.
Okay.
See, I'm half black. I've got a Jewfro. Fuck out of here. Unless you use a pick, motherfucker, stand down. Here we go. Yeah, what a racist. Oh, now you're hurt. You can spew all kind of shit in the back chat. Well, you got the right one today. I am not Ariel. I am not Michael Ramsor. I do not grab my ankles for black or white men. Dig that. Seems like they do it for both. Both of you are fucked.
I'm surprised Davin. Oh my God, Davin is the worst. Davin. He is. I think he forgets time and space and the question that he asks. And then he'll say the question over and over again. And then he'll call you a Jew babe.
Devin is sitting in a nursing home with nothing else to do. Feel bad for him.
Wow, you guys know you guys know each other. You guys in the chat.
I think him and El Normo are in the same ward. Just
right.
sit with their little green and strawberry orange jello, yelling reports at their phones. And their family members don't mind because at least they're not bothering the heck out of them.
I turned hand raising off just in case your thumbs get tired. So.
It's freaking scary. And he's spelling my name Ease.
I want to talk about fathers. Can we open that file, please?
Oh wait, I forgot about this guy. Oh shit.
Imagine.
I heard the rumors is, right, I don't know, look, I heard it from the streets of Clubhouse, that your father, all due respect, has done some sort of corruption.
I mean, well, be it that he was a public official, we can look it up. I mean, because we all know I'm a pathological liar, right?
No, but didn't they get him for stealing money from the city?
Be it that I'm a pathological liar, and he was a public figure, we can look it up.
Can we please just have straight answers? It's so boring, when we do this whole long drawn out thing. Because the truth of the matter, if you don't want to answer, just don't.
No, he wasn't, because at the time that he was in office, his contemporary was Kwame Kilpatrick. We all know what happened to him. The feds are doing the sweep on the entire southeastern Michigan. You're welcome.
What do you think the solution would be for the Middle East?
I think the Visigoths and the Vikings gotta go. They need to take their raw meat eating selves back to the mountains where they started out. Yep. I think we need to have more people who are compassionate and law-abiding, individuals who respect the Quran, people who respect the Torah. I think that'll be a start.
Not that Nation of Islam logic. Go ahead, Queen.
Daniel is talking about me having pork in my teeth. Baruch Hashem, I've never tasted pork in my life. But while we're talking, how about you take that man's pubic hairs out of your back teeth? They're affecting your brain.
Shit. How do you know everybody's sexual habits?
Damn. Actually, the last time you changed your lipstick, you left a rainbow on their dicks. That was the first time.
And you were
you have to admit when.
What kind of Diddy party was this?
You have to admit when Izzy is brutal, Izzy is freaking brutal.
I'm sorry, Diddy, but you know what? Didn't I tell y'all?
Please rein me back in, because these sorry, flaccid individuals are not worth it.
Rein you back,
They're
we will
not
not.
worth it. I'm not. They're wet noodles.
It's
I'm
not
not my
noodle, it's
concern.
funny.
Rein you back, we will not.
This is an unfair situation.
He literally gets off. I'm not joking. You guys think I'm joking. He sits and creams his pants when he gets this much attention.
You can tell.
You really can.
About my sexual habits.
Like I said, I don't. All I could tell was from the trail to on their buttholes and their penises.
Izzy, you really have to show some empathy to the pathetic soul that you're talking to. I really feel
You're
sorry
right.
for the guy.
Because I think he got shattered when people heard him reveal that
Yeah,
he's a pathological liar.
you have also really how much he's hurting on the inside. He's in a lot of pain.
How do you tell that bold-faced lie?
I'm in so much pain.
And then you get revealed as someone who advocates for the killing of children on a public threat. Never mind what would happen if somebody reported that shit.
But I am sure at times when he's by himself, he cries.
I urge you.
He told me he does cry at night.
I urge you
Damn,
to
that's sick.
That's sweet.
Your Palestinian nature is showing with your lives. Please don't do that to yourself.
Can somebody put his sorry behind back?
Didn't you get hit by a Palestinian door? He actually got hit by a Palestinian door. He told us that in our room.
Sure. What?
So if you had watched that video a little longer, you would have seen the black eye. That fat rabbi. Mm-hmm.
Oh my word.
Yeah, put the beats on him.
It's
so
really
good.
interesting.
Beats
It's
on
really
him.
interesting.
And
It's really
actually,
interesting.
he got the right black Jew. Somebody should have put the beats on his behind the moment they walked up behind him. You can tell he's been out of Detroit for a while. No black man is going to allow some, I don't even want to use the F word, but you know it's there, to follow him through the streets of Israel, watching him urinate. Can you imagine you gawking at a fat black man urinating? It's just gross. It's just gross. He needs a life.
Why would he?
Imagine needing attention. Imagine needing an audience that bad that you would follow another man through the streets of Israel. Come on now.
I find
life.
And waiting for him to pee.
And mind you, I've never
Say that again.
Waiting for him to pee.
No, like that. Like it's so weird. Like he
let
tells
her
the
tell
story in the room that, oh yeah, I was sitting up on the side and then he went to pee. Mind you, the brother is full moon out, and you up here like hawking him, man. You're fucking gross.
So a grown man
It is very strange.
So it is
giving more than creepy. You know what I'm saying? It's really creepy.
Coming up with this story. It's
So
very
at
strange.
the end of the day, I don't mind sitting and listening to him go through therapy on Clubhouse, but other people might not. Other people might have some serious issues with that shit. Look at how many times he's on YouTube with 3 views. Come on now, he's lonely. He's
So now-
3
so
views.
now we're- so now we're
I'm talking to Captain Cesaria. Look at me. Oh, I got the white Jews to confirm that I'm really Jewish. I mean, goodness. Get a fucking life.
What's your obsession with white people?
Get a fucking life, man. So embarrassing.
Outside of Clubhouse?
So embarrassing.
Embarrassing to
Like,
not
seriously, you just need a shower, a shave, and some meds. That might be a nice start. You look like you stink. You ever see, remember Pigpen from like Charlie Brown?
Yeah,
That's this,
the
he
dirty
can't take
one. Yeah.
He can't take 3 steps without shedding dandruff and dust. Wherever he
I've
goes.
seen it. I was literally watching. I was horrified. I had to clean my phone afterwards.
Trying to tell you. You got the nerve to say that somebody else is unkempt? Yeah, Mordecai definitely has some issues with hygiene. That's apparent. But you ain't exactly a faraway second at all.
Ezzy, put your husband on the phone.
What I'm gonna do,
Why do you want to talk to her, man?
Because he's a fucking homosexual. He didn't ask for my sister. He didn't ask for any one of my sisters. He asked for my husband. He's on some lot shit. Send out the men.
Quite
so that we
strange.
can have our way with them.
So you don't live with your husband?
Unlike you,
Damn,
unlike you, my husband's at work, which is none of your business. But at the end of the day, I promise you, if you need to be cussed out in 3 different languages, I can make it happen for you. I'm just waiting for your sorry ass. Remember how you dipped in New York and you said you were going to make sure that we knew when you got here because you had chartered a plane, another fucking line told. At the end, because there were no flights out of Ben Gurion or any place else. You're a lying fucktard. A lying fucktard. There were no planes out of Israel that whole week. You can stop now. At the end of the day, please, I've already told you, we can both meet you in New York. That's my stomping ground. I guarantee you, and I'm saying it in front of everybody on this stage, you will leave without a jaw.
Yes, ma'am.
You will leave without a jaw. You'll be sucking dick through your ears. Guarantee. Guarantee. I'm that bitch. Yes.
I will let you know the next time.
We don't have to sell whoop tickets, my nigga. You from Detroit. You know how we do.
I literally
just show up and make a phone call. All you gotta do, all you gotta do is say, I'm here. I promise you I'll pay for that ticket.
No problem.
I promise you. Say less.
Yes, ma'am.
Say less.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good enough. Now you can go. Now, if you don't mind, go find you some chicken schmaltz and handle your business.
What's a chicken schmaltz?
I've already,
you know, it's grease. Oh no, I'm talking about sucking it off the next man's dick like you usually do.
Jeez.
Again, with my
I'm sorry. You know what?
You can tell I'm Northerner. I really do.
No, you good.
It makes you feel at home. Yeah.
At the end of the day, goodness
so
gracious.
Normal.
That dude swallowed a grape was falling out his ass like it's a grapefruit. Watch and see.
Oh, God.
Why is she talking about me under my clothes? That's so weird.
Next.
He's not good at this. Come on now. You're making Detroit look bad.
I don't understand what there is to be good
You're
at.
making Detroit look so terrible. It's so sad.
He ain't from Detroit.
Oh,
Where's he from?
Water and he thinks he lost his tan.
Where is he from?
He went in as Samuel Jackson and came out as Brad Pitt, or so he thinks.
I'm supposed to be.
Y'all ain't see that perm? You ain't see when he straightened his hair in the video? Y'all ain't see that one? Wait, hold on. Let me help you out with his greasy. Follow the drip. Follow the drip. Just nasty Jerry curl. Follow the drip.
But yeah, I'll let you and your husband know when I'm in New York. I have no problem with that.
Damn, you are focused on her. On her list. Racing.
Because I don't know any man that would allow his. You know what? For your sake, I hope he's deaf.
I mean, it's just gotta be a little bit more funny. It's not funny.
I'm sorry, Panda.
No, it's not funny because
no,
not
this
scary.
You are cracking me up. The other hand, I don't know what's going on with
If you guys have not seen the videos yourself, this wouldn't even be half as funny. But you see who we're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
His little tired, small behind. How tall are you? 5'7", 5'6"? Them little behind ass legs?
No, madam, I'm 6'2".
Yeah, that's a 6'2" lie. Out 6'2". In what universe? 6'2". You want to be 6'2".
But you don't have to believe it if you don't want to.
Brother, that was that dick you took. Hey, what was it you?
Hello, Black. Hello, hello, Doctor.
Wait, Rabbi. I don't even like calling him Rabbi. He knows that. Mordecai. Mordecai, come out and play.
I'm screaming. Oh my gosh.
You, boo-boo.
Put your
Your baby's on stage. Your baby's on
Get
stage.
your old man. Yeah, come on.
Worrying about the
No, I just want to let him know.
No, the reason why I'm
leave your man alone. I'm not hearing you ask about
Black Rabbi.
Get your own. It's so creepy.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Black Rabbi, it was his butt cheeks that Ariel was staring at. He claims that Mordecai went to pee and he was staring at his backside.
Why was he bothering that man?
Did you feel him watching you, Mordecai? Did you feel like a wind passed over those butt hairs of yours?
He's homoerotic fan.
Did you feel his gaze graze you in an intimate way? Not for nothing. Any man, I said it, and I own it, any man who chases or walks behind another man for that amount of time has serious issues. Serious issues. Imagine a man following another man home. Imagine that.
Following anybody for that, man. That's crazy.
Imagine that even happening for 2 inches in Detroit, much less 10 blocks. You waited and stalked him in a marketplace.
I did.
Followed him home.
I did?
Yeah, why
Yes.
did you do that?
Yeah, how did I do that? Ezzy, please tell me, how did I do that?
He's on
No, I
stage.
said,
He can
why
answer for
did you do
himself. You on video following the brother home.
How did I do that, though?
My goodness.
Because you're a stalker. And a creepy individual at that.
So why would you invite a
That's a
creepy
man looking at another
individual
man's
in your house?
backside for that long.
So why would you invite a creepy individual to visit you in your
I
house?
heard that you were talking about me. So now I come for you. Bend over. Bend over now. Let me give you what I meant to give you before. Fuck out of here.
Wait, Ezzy, you do that too good.
That is hilarious. He is so funny.
Wait a minute.
That was coming from a deep place.
You remember the Raw? What was it? Raw? Was it Eddie Murphy? Talk about some eight.
Hey, you know
what was his
I
name?
want to tell you something.
Ah, dang. Oh, come on, y'all. Mr. T.
Wow.
It was Mr. T. And no, I'm gonna put it in there. Something like that, he said. That is exactly what I thought about.
Don't put it on Eddie. Don't put that on Eddie.
Was it on Eddie? Was it Eddie? Yes, it was.
That-
Remember he was trying to pretend like Mr. T was like,
That was delirious.
was it delirious? It might have
It was
been.
wrong.
Delirious
It
was
was
out of
wrong.
pocket. Let's be for real.
It
was
was
wrong.
Delirious was all out of pocket.
It really was.
Over.
Yeah, right. Oh my God! I want to go look at it again.
I think you guys should ask Black Rabbi if he believes 1 year of Gaza to be a terrorist. That's what he has said multiple times.
Watch you
Believes
go to
who?
the tape.
This
Watch you
Black
go to the
Rabbi
tape.
character believes 1 year old Gaza to be a
1 year gotcha.
I'm gonna take that back.
1 year old Gaza. Y'all from Gaza? 1 year old?
No,
Black Rabbi, are you there?
He's there. He's on the bottom.
Black Rabbi? Jihadist, are you there?
He's there.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, Amir, my old friend?
Hey, I'm just putting it out there. You know, I'm single. I'm just out here chilling. What's up?
I did not accept
She
this
cannot tell you to stop saying that.
Alright, so listen, Black Rabbi.
Black Rabbi, was he following you?
Why we not? Why we? Hey,
Oh, you gonna get him hot dreams. We're gonna be having wet dreams tonight.
hey.
Black Rabbi single.
Hey, it's a chapter, it's a reality show, it's a book. You know,
When Aaron start following you again,
It ain't a joke. I did.
Ariel's about to start
He didn't follow Ariel. Ariel followed him.
Black, is it okay if I follow you?
yeah, please, yeah.
All right. I just
Please do.
Hey,
sorry.
see, when I put that single out, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to act.
Right.
They don't know how to act.
Right.
Put a sign on your backside saying off limits. You know he's not Rabbi.
Are you there?
Black, could you just tell us your side of the story? I'm just a
Damn, hello?
Yeah, what happened to you? I didn't hear you.
I'm asking Black Rabbi.
Matter of fact, wait, let me just get a yes or no. Black Rabbi, did Ariel follow you home?
I'm not talking about this, man.
Yes, you are. I said yes or no. All I'm asking for is a yes or no.
Nah,
See? You ain't gonna deny
I was
it.
gonna ask Black Rabbi, why'd you snuff Ariel like that in that video we watched?
Yo, he stuffed the shit. Yo.
He should have.
You know the thing about it, maybe in a like if I would have went a different path in life, I could have been a boxer, like Floyd.
Okay.
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't go that
You
route.
snuffed the shit. You
I didn't go that route.
him.
I didn't go that route. I didn't go that route.
Black Rabbi, you snuffed the shit out of Ariel.
Hey, you know, I'm a peaceful man. I'm a peaceful man.
Sharif, don't let these women gas you
You
up.
snuffed the shit out of Ariel. Do you think you deserve that?
Sharif, don't let these women gas you up.
Listen, he
Well,
should
watched
walk
the
the
video
video
of him doing that.
We watched
Sharif, don't let these women gas you up.
gave him the whole box.
Hey.
And he was walking around really looking like an Oreo poster child. For real, for real.
I'm here for love. I'm here for
Sharif,
love.
don't let these women gas you
Yeah.
up.
And he was loving on your backside the whole time he was walking behind you.
I'm here.
Leave him alone.
Yes,
He doesn't
I just want to talk to him. I want to
Sure.
know, like, did he deserve that? Or Ariel, you can answer, like, do you think you deserve to be snuffed like that in the video?
Sharif, don't let these women gas
He
you
was
up.
walking behind him on that Jodeci shit. Can I talk to you? I really wanna
See, as he's too good at this,
Can I
this is
talk
like,
to
like
you? Ow!
hey, Amir, you're trying to date. Amir, you're trying to date. That's why you're in here, right?
So, Amir had a question. He asked if a 1-year-old Gazan could be a terrorist.
Okay, so this is the thing. Amir's a
Answer the
terrorist.
question and you better answer it right.
But but I'm saying Amir's a terrorist, and he has an issue because I believe in unity.
Then answer the question right.
Can you give a direct answer to the question? Do you believe when you're a Gazan to be terrorist?
Shut your mouth.
Okay. Shut your fucking.
Hold on, who's answering the question? I'm sorry. Who's the question? He gave a question. Amir should be answering it, correct?
No, Mordecai should be answering.
Yeah.
It's a black
Indian and lives in California.
Sorry, let's stop. All right, one mic.
Amir's question, Black Rabbi.
Go ahead, Black Rabbi.
What I said to Amir, and I repeat this over and over again. My understanding of the Israel-Palestine conflict comes from the Palestinians I became friends with in East Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
And they explained to me specifically that Hamas, the PLO, Fatah, all these organizations do not represent them. And in fact, these organizations are kind of like philanthropist organizations.
Can you give us a direct answer instead of do you really?
He's letting him answer. God, because I just keep interrupting. I literally cannot, I can't do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So Hamas, Fatah, the PLO, these are organizations that basically raise billions of dollars based off of the death of Palestinians and the destruction of their property, right? So the way that they create this mechanism of fundraising is that they take a population in Gaza and the West Bank and they radicalize them from the time that they're born, even to the point they found these pamphlets that tell the man and the woman who like newlyweds when they first have intimacy to before they have intimacy to imagine conceiving a martyr, right? So like even from the time of conception, they're breeding people who are going to be suicide bombers that are going to want to kill and destroy anybody who's not, part of Hamas, right? So that's what we're dealing with. And so they're trying to flip that on me like I'm the bad guy because they're training children. They got cartoons in Gaza right now on their television that talks about killing Jews, killing Christians, killing anyone who, the infidels or Muslims who agree with the Jews. This is what they're training kids as a kid. So when I bring that up as a way of a cry for help, right, as an African American, as a cry for help, people like Amir and other people on this app who are paid people that come on this app to reinforce the narrative of Hamas, the PLO, and Fatah. They're here to reinforce that, but that's not the people on the ground. The people on the ground are being massacred because of the actions done by these organizations. So these organizations, they can get richer. That's just what it is.
How is that your logic to support your belief that a 1-year-old can be a terrorist?
No, see, he switched my words, and I said that they start training children as soon as they start to be breastfed. Like when the kid is born in Gaza, they put a bullet in his mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
My God.
Wow.
Oh, man. I was so hoping that you would do better. Lord have mercy.
I'm just saying they're training these kids as children to be martyrs and to be terrorists.
Oh, it's so much worse.
He's not lying.
One mic on Dr. Priya.
When they're in utero, they read to them about how people should be murdered and how they should be bathed in blood. It's like so much worse. Forget about bullets during pregnancy. Like literally even before they get married, when they're like, hey, I like that girl, we're probably gonna get married and have kids, they start praying to the imaginary kids that they've had, that, you know, they want to have a bunch of kids that Israel can then rape and murder.
Doctor, can I ask you a question? Are you talking about Palestinians? Are you talking about...
Sister Isaac, can you ask Black Rabbi?
I'm being very sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
You're making fun of the idiocy of what Dr. Guy just said.
What did you say, Amir? What did you say?
I said Black Rabbi made so many claims without any...
You know what the problem is? I think that when you live in insular communities, it's very easy to see everything outside of your community. It's not really all that easy to say something about yourself. I mean, imagine if I took the exact same phrase that he just put forth on this stage and said, you know what? From the time European Jews have a child, you know, they teach them to suck dick in the mikvah based on the number of pedophiles within certain European Jewish communities. Imagine how, like, stunned, appalled people would be if I said something like that. That's the same equivalent. Number one, all Palestinians are not terrorists. He knows that. He's been around Palestinians.
I said West Bank.
Wait, hold on. You've been in those places. You know that there are very beautiful, good people in those spaces. You've actually done videos with them. Stop. You've done videos with them.
Yeah.
You bragged about the fact that you used to be Sharif Hassan and that you were a Muslim for 27 years. You know damn well for 27 years of your life you were not trained to be a terrorist. You need to stop. At the end of the day, you and I also both know that many Israeli kids in Israel are trained to hate Arabs from birth. So when you're living in a crystal meth lab where hate is the order of the day, yes, children are going to internalize what they're surrounded by. But it is highly irresponsible to say that every single Palestinian child is born and raised to hate Jews, because that's just not true.
Right, but it's also important to understand that he basically brought anecdotes to a data fight, right? He's like, I know a bunch of Palestinians who told me blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing he has said can be verified.
Doctor, where are you?
Right? Because I can say the same thing. I know a shit ton of Palestinians because I know a shit ton of folks in my training program who were kicked out during the Nakba and went to Lebanon and Jordan and then ended up becoming residents within my program who would say the exact opposite. But that's also an anecdote, right?
But the Nakba was a long time ago.
I'm still stuck on the...
Yes, thank you. I understand what I'm not sure what your point is because I do understand.
Nakba was a long time ago. How long ago?
I just want to make one point, okay?
What does that have to do with the fact that you brought up an anecdote? What does that have to do with the fact that you brought up an anecdote?
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to substantiate a couple points. So yes, I grew up. My parents were Sunni Muslim. They got into Sufism. That's how I grew up, right? My siblings, all of us grew up. We went to Muslim schools growing up. The first language that I wrote was Arabic. We wrote from left to right, the whole thing, right? So because of that, I have an aspect of extreme sensitivity toward the Muslim world, right? Because I have seen the beauty of Muslim people, my parents being themselves, right? And friends and cousins. My mom's brother married a Palestinian woman. So I have half African American, half Palestinian cousins, and Palestinian cousins through them, right? I guess they're second cousins, right? So I'm not coming from a place of, I'm against, Palestinians. No, it's the opposite. And what I will say is that there's 2 million Palestinians that live in proper Israel every single day that don't refer to themselves as Palestinian. They refer to themselves as Israeli Arabs, right? Because before 1967, they were either Jordanian or they were either Egyptian. After 1967 war, the Russians came, organized with Palestinian or Arab leaders, and they formed a Palestinian peoplehood as a mechanism to resist Israel's growth in the West, right? So my point is saying that so the people that are here are basically caught into this concept where they're forced to be refugees. They don't have representation. And then the people in the West who are talking free Palestine are not helping the people on the ground. They're helping the people who are making hundreds of millions of dollars off of arms deals and other types of mechanisms of money that come in out of Gaza that are Palestinian, right? Because if you look at Palestinian leadership, most of which are dead now, these guys were billionaires, right? They're richer than Jay-Z.
So where's your proof? Where's your proof? Because again,
Palestinian Palestinian leader. Okay, don't cut me off. Just to be clear, you want proof that Palestinian leadership were billionaires?
I want proof that they're putting bullets in babies' mouths. I want proof that there are cartoons teaching them to kill Jews. I want proof of every bit of nonsense you've said.
Okay, I mean, well, we could have like a conversation on a podcast, whatever, and I could present all this information. That's not a problem.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
This guy's fucking insane, man. Get some help, dude. You're mental ill. Get some help, dude. Get some fucking help, will you?
You have the proof or you don't have the proof. Why does it require going on a podcast?
Don't you walk down the street and see those Palestinians? Do they tell you we are Israeli?
Let me please finish, sir. Let me finish. You have the proof or you don't have the proof. Why does it require me going on a podcast?
No, because I need
bringing an audience.
Because I want to give because I want a presentation.
Are you? Yeah. So right. So again, we're here to build an audience.
Is that a big deal? Okay, I mean, I talk about it on podcast now, but I'm just saying, the point is saying, if you wanted to have a clear presentation on the fact that child soldiers are being created in Palestine, and you in the West are supporting the fact that children are being transformed into soldiers, suicidal entities, right? You're supporting.
All right, so hold on for a second, please.
Yeah, hold on. So
we gotta get at least one. Hold on for a second. Got it. We have to. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on for a second. But we have to get at least one claim. Did he go? Oh, add him to the list of people who run.
Notice though that as soon as I asked for proof, it became, let's make it into a big spectacle, let's bring in an audience, blah, 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 because there isn't proof. Hey, Rohan, when you ask me for proof of something, what is my response? Do I say, hey, let's do a podcast?
I haven't experienced that yet.
I have a question for Dr.
Hey.
Hey.
Can I ask
somebody just had a question they want to speak?
That was me. I have a question for the doctor. Thank you so much. So, I'm making an assumption. Please correct me. You're not Palestinian, correct?
I am not.
Okay. I'm assuming, you don't have to answer, do you live in America?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at the movement from Israel to America, from what's on the ground to what's in the leaves, if you will, I see that it's cannibalizing itself. And there are some people that honestly believe that if they stay on the side of those that are perceivably empowered by popular opinion, that when the fruit falls, that they're going to be safe. So be it that you're not Palestinian and that you're American, are you siding with their cause because you believe it offers you some sort of level of safety or relatability, or it's just that this is the cause that you genuinely feel should take up most of your time?
Can someone translate crazy to English?
I have no clue.
He basically was just asking you simply, why are you siding with him? All the other words are extra, completely.
Okay, so the question is, why do I believe in the Palestinian cause? Is that the question? Because that's only like 5 words.
No, ma'am, that wasn't the question.
Oh, well, shoot, I thought that was a question too. My God.
Why are you
I thought it was a question too. I had no idea.
The question was, the movement that you're identifying with is in the process of cannibalizing itself. So when that comes time for you to be, do you think that you'll be spared?
What? No.
What the fuck are you talking about? What do you...
There are so many factions within the pro-Palestinian movement that they're fighting against each other. So be against someone who's not Palestinian.
I reject the premise of that statement, so I don't need to answer this question.
Problem. Okay, very good.
Even for the sake of argument, that's the idea is to support necessarily like an organization. You don't have to support Hamas. You don't have to support PLO. You don't have to support anybody, right? You just talk about like, hey, the people of Palestine, they have the right to exist. And while we're at this idea of supporting the group, what do you have to say about your buddy Israel? You were giving about $20 billion a year. Who first used Hamas against PLO? And this is not something like a conspiracy theory. They accept that by themselves. Even as late as 2015, 2017, Netanyahu was, allowing, weapons to go in the hands of Hamas. All right? And now, the Israeli opposition is accusing of Netanyahu to, funding ISIS-like groups in Gaza against Hamas. And they're the ones who are actually taking away all the aid that flows, and whatever the minimum that goes in. So while we're at it, can you tell me what do you have to say about your tax money going into funding these the region by the hands of Israel? Any words for that?
Of course.
Are you asking me that?
No, he's asking
Who are
me.
you asking
Because
that?
he's asking me because you don't live here.
Oh.
He's asking me because you don't live here. So we have to give them money because under the Oslo Accords, under our auspices. Hold on, sir. I'm answering your question. Under the Oslo Accords, to simplify it, it's our responsibility to give the political structure money that runs the people. But if they decide to spend that money on guns, and they're dumb enough to use them against us, we're going to have to handle that.
Wait, who told you that, after Oslo Accords, you start giving money? You've been giving money to Israel since, the beginning, inception of it, all right? And you've been giving a lot of money.
You misunderstood what I said. I said, in accordance with the Oslo Accords, they can purchase weapons with the money that the state gives them. And if they decide to make that poor choice and to use those weapons against us, it is going to be handled with extreme brutality.
So basically what you're saying is that you're okay with your tax money going into some genocidal work as long as they don't attack you.
No, sir, that's not what I said at all. What I said was they take the money that we give them. Let me answer your question. No, you're not sorry to interrupt me because you're interrupting me. So let me answer your question. If we give them money, which is what we're supposed to do, and under the Oslo Accords, they can use that money to buy guns. When they make the poor decision to turn those guns against us, it will be handled with extreme brutality.
Okay, and who are you talking about? Who would these people be? Are the Israelis or Palestinians?
Israel is responsible for giving Palestinians money. They receive money from two different sources: the international community, such as kind-hearted people like yourself, and the country that they live in. We have to give them money so they can sustain their infrastructure. But when they choose to use that money to buy weapons of war, they will be handled with extreme brutality.
I think,
it's always...
you do not know what you're talking about, with all due respect. Because here's the thing, okay, English is my second language, all right? I may not be understanding, but if anybody here is understanding what you're saying, all right, then, then okay, then probably maybe I'm not understanding you correctly, right? That's maybe my fault. But if everybody here, including native English speakers, are not able to understand a word that you're saying, then maybe you need to work on your skills. That being said, the money we're talking about is not the aid that Israel gets for Palestinian people. We're talking about the $5.8 billion civilian aid that Israel gets for their own selves. Not for Palestinians, not for Palestinian infrastructure, but for themselves. And this is the $5.8 billion check that's given every year the ones who are buying the weapons. It's not like Palestinians. It's not anyone else but the Israelis. So maybe, just maybe, try to like research before, making a fool out of yourself. No.
So, I don't know if you understand how that money is delegated, but it's very simple. When I was living below the poverty line, I would receive one card, which I could use to buy food, and the other card was used for me to buy medicine. I can't use one for the other and vice versa. And it's the same situation. They're not sending us boatloads of cash as your imagination.
Oh, wait. Are you that Michigan guy? Are you the Detroit guy?
Hold on, sir.
Are you the Detroit guy? Oh, okay.
Hold on, sir. You're screaming, but you're not listening. And like you said, English is your second language, so please, have mercy on yourself and listen very carefully. It's not cash money. It's credit and it's debt. Some of that money has to be allocated to the people who live under your control. And if they make the poor choice to use that money for weapons, they will be and are handled with extreme brutality. You got two choices. You can buy bullets or you can buy corn. They're like, hey, we're going to buy bullets. And now they're dealing with the consequence.
Only one last thing, and then I'll let you speak my vote. So everybody here, right, this guy, I know he used to come in from years ago. This guy on record had said that how he has, killed 12
You're late to the party. We
all right? And like, he has, how he, beat children, or Palestinian children. So, whatever he's saying after this, take it from a grain of salt. It's kind of like, you're talking to a terrorist at this point.
Arslan, just as an FYI, we all know fully well who he is. We understand the talking points. We understand the whole ridiculous, ludicrous setup of, because this has been the standard lie for decades, right? It's just that now that the world has actually seen Israel's actions live streamed, we all fully are aware of what those lies actually mean, right? Because essentially he's pretending that it is not enshrined in international law that if you are an occupied group, that you do not have the right to armed resistance, which you actually do. It is enshrined in international law. This idea that it is a war or something like that is bullshit, right? Because it ignores every single crime that Israel has been committing for decades against the Palestinian people. So again, everybody that you're hearing on this stage, everybody in the chat that's making up all this stuff, we are fully aware that this is the death knell from a desperate ideology that has been exposed. So it's honestly, you gotta just kind of listen and frankly laugh, because I am incredibly amused. I actually find it very entertaining to listen to the desperation of people trying to justify bombing hospitals, raping doctors to death, killing people, because an occupied and brutalized group of people fought back. Now, I'm not condoning violence against civilians or anything of that matter, but I am also not someone whose entire bloodline has been massacred. I am not someone who has watched my children be taken for throwing a rock. I am not someone who has had my child sit in jail for decades with no representation or die as a hostage of Israel. I am not someone who, at the age of 12 years old, was tied to an IOF Jeep and used as a human shield, right? Every accusation we fully understand as a confession.
Well, ma'am, to your point, to your credit, what you said, a portion of it is correct. They are.
I should just let you know that everything you say, I pretty much ignore.
Okay, very good. So I just want to let you know that to a point, what you're saying is correct. And I do find it interesting that you are interested because you have no skin in the game. You have no skin in the game. So that's why
it's definitely hugely important to me that you feel that something I've said is correct. Let me assure you that your opinion on everything I've said is incredibly important to me.
your smug, white liberal attitude is not helping the cause. It's actually hurting.
Yeah, I'm not white.
Which is why you said, well, you could have fooled me. Which is why I said that it's interesting that you said you're entertained.
Fuck up. Rohan. Panda, Rohan, Corey.
I'm here, Teely. I'm listening in.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm hanging in. How you doing?
All right. Just trying to, I don't know how long this room has been open. Just kind of get some direction. We've heard burnt to a crisp today, which is a crazy ass level, because we've heard it all in this room. I'm bored. I'm bored by it. Are there any Zionists in here? I think this room really has one question. And do Zionists deny genocide is occurring in Israel? And that's it. So when I find, and you're always boring, Ron, Black Ron. Oh, Midas, you ran away earlier. Why? Midas, I'm sorry, I confused him with the other one. Dude, that be saying conspiracy shit. I'm so sorry. Black Rabbi. Black Rabbi.
Yeah, I'm here.
Where did you go?
I'll let you boy. I'm here with you. What you say?
Where did you go earlier?
Yeah, I just, I moved, it's a lot of action.
Hello? Stop talking like that. Oh. Where did you go?
No, I have people come over, I have a lot of action, a lot of stuff.
A lot of action.
Yeah. You come by.
I wanted to see if you.
We're having a party.
Yeah. I wanted to see if you
It was arrogant. Or
give us like one piece of evidence, like the bullet in the baby bullet thing or anything, just one. I can't hear you.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta look it up. It's like,
I can't hear you.
It's not like, you can't hear me?
Yeah. Wait, maybe it's me. Shit.
Can you hear me now? I hear you. Good.
It's him.
Okay, sorry.
Sort of related.
So. No, please don't.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you ever, I know that y'all have been discussing the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, which is at The Hague, but.
Damn, Black Rabbi, can I hear it?
I was just gonna say, if you all have an opportunity to go to Den Haag and go to the International Criminal Court, definitely take the tour. It is amazing. It's fascinating. It really gives you a good idea of why the U.S. and Israel are so hard to pin down for war crimes committed by both countries. It is you actually get to sit in on court sessions that are going on. So like I sat in on a appeal from Venezuela for crimes committed by their soldiers against one of the local indigenous populations. I mean, obviously it's translated, right? Because it's an international court. So sometimes the prosecutors aren't speaking in English or like French or Latin. I think the prosecutor in this case was speaking a dialect of a local Venezuelan Spanish. That's what the prosecutor's native language was. So it was a really, really fascinating look. So you take a tour of the facilities, then you go sit in on part of a court trial, and then you go and hear a presentation about the history of the ICC, what it takes to bring a case to the ICC, how a prosecutor makes a determination about whether a case is valid or not. It's a really fascinating look into international law.
Oh shit, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do that. Black Rabbi.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, I was wondering if you can send a link or something, or like you don't have to do it anymore. Just tell me how to find the baby bullet thing you're talking about?
Type it in.
It'll be in both. Baby, tell me what to type in. I have it open now.
Like, Palestinian, babes, put in Palestinian baby birth bullet.
Mort, Ariel asked me to play a song for you.
Will you guys work together?
You ready for it?
Do you guys work together?
Like the new bone.
This is some creepy stuff going on all around the board.
It really is. No, I'm not joking. It's starting to creep me out.
You're part of it. You're part of it.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Hey, fake Black Rabbit. After the song, like, give us evidence about the cartoons, about like killing Jews and Christians in Gaza. You need evidence, man. Like, you cannot say something like that and you move on. You cannot, man. You cannot.
I think you need to eat that one, Mordecai.
Like, really, how can you sleep? Like, even if I want to lie, like, lying like that, I cannot sleep at night, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure to.
And you are okay, like, you are chill, man, like, you lie like that and you are chill in the room, no problem for you, like.
Do you have proof to back that up?
The Free Palestinian movement is organized by the military-industrial complex.
No, you made a statement about Palestinian children. I asked you if you have.
Yeah, I mean, just type in. You can type in cartoon. Radicalizing Palestinian children.
Yes, put the link for us, even in Hebrew, like, put the link for us.
I don't want
I typed in a thing about the bullet thing. I typed it in. Ether typed it in. To type it in. It says that this is like propaganda, good sir. Let me go back.
Bro, come on, man. I mean, why you like?
You told me to type it in. Hold on.
You don't understand,
bro. You told me. No, hold on. You told me to type it in. Did you not? I didn't make it up. So you told me to type it in. I typed it in. And it's talking about it being propaganda. A myth. A lie. Fake.
It's a real thing.
Made up. It's a real thing, but you can't provide any evidence for it. And when I look for evidence,
Black Rabbi. Can't even hear him.
I know, I'm chilling.
Yeah, I can hear him.
I'm chilling.
So I got a better question. Mordecai, have you ever experienced racism?
Wait. 1 second. Go ahead, did you finish?
Not really. Hold on. I want to read through it for a second.
Okay.
Let me just refind it 1 second. Okay. All right. So here's what it says.
While you're looking for it, I've checked it too. Just go ahead.
Oh, you did? You found it?
Yeah, I didn't find it. I just typed it into Google and I didn't get. All I got is Israeli forces killed Palestinian child with expanding bullet. Over 100 bullet fragments in the brain of Palestinian child shot by Israeli soldiers. I got all this crazy stuff, so I just gave up. I didn't want to hear this.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what you got.
So wait, let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. So Black.
All right, so when I did a search, it says, this is not true. It's a dangerous myth that's being propagated. It's a form of dehumanizing propaganda that aims to paint Palestinian civilians, including children, as inherently violent. It says Palestinian children, like all children, are innocent and vulnerable victims of the conflict, not actors in the violence. Why these myths exist? They aim to dehumanize the other side, justify harsh military measures, and influence public opinion by making civilians seem like threats. Palestinian babies and children are civilians who need protection under international law.
It's just fake, completely made up, bro. And the fact that you spread it on stage in front of so many people is offensive, but it should be embarrassing.
Wow.
Okay, so Black Rabbi claims that we Palestinians do what exactly? We feed our children bullets. What's the deal there?
The bottom line is like this: in Gaza, in the West Bank.
I think Ezzy was talking.
All right. I mean, I thought people were talking to me. I was just responding. I mean, I'll be quiet.
No worries.
So you run and you see Palestinians every day in Jerusalem, right? You see them like biting. What do you see? Eating bullets? What? Do you see them going to school or what do we like? We Palestinians like
trained to be terrorists from since like as an infant, even starting as a baby.
Yeah. Every day in the morning when I take my kids to school, I give them like an M16. I say go, go, and I put a target and I train them to shoot. See,
that's how this is part of the manipulation. So.
You're such a sick fat fuck. That's what you are. You're just a sick fat fuck. That's what you are. You're a mentally ill fuck. That's what you are. You need fucking help. What fucking truth? You're fucking mentally ill, dude. You're fucking mentally ill. Why don't you just admit it? Seek some fucking help. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a fucking lost soul, dude. You live in Jerusalem. You see Palestinians on a daily basis. You even told me where you fucking lived. And I know the fucking shit you walk on every fucking day, and you see Palestinians fucking training their kids to what? To shoot other people? What the fuck is wrong with you? What is fucking with you? You're a sick individual, dude. Because you're a fucking sick individual. You're just a sick individual. You need some fucking help.
This is the tactic to silence them. You just call them, say a bunch of ad hominems over.
Because you are such a fucking outrageous shit. You're such an outrageous fucking. You say some outrageous shit.
You don't want to have a conversation.
What if he said that all Jews were a bunch of crooks, some bunch of the garbage? What?
As let me respond, and I think I'll answer your question. So again, as I stated earlier in this conversation, there's 2 million Palestinians that live in cooperation and synchronicity with the rest of the Israeli population. The issue that we're talking about is the radicalization of the children in Gaza, the radicalization of the people in the West Bank. That is the issue that we're dealing with. And so, from that perspective, they want to switch that and say, I'm attacking all Palestinians. I'm not talking about Palestinians are fighting the IDF. Palestinians are shooting police officers outside. If I go to any hospital here in Jerusalem, it's going to be mostly Palestinian doctors, surgeons, physicians, the whole thing. So no one has anything against Palestinians. Again,
I wanted to interject, please, after Black Rabbi.
Yeah, let me finish. And so what I'm saying is saying that there are people outside of the region of Gaza, in Ramallah, and all these other areas that are in the Middle East that have been using the Palestinian concept as a way to resist the West. And so they created a narrative around a people. The Palestinian people, the real Palestinian people were Jews. The Romans called the land Judea, they call it Palestine, Philistine. That's what they call it. It's a Greek word. They did that to rename the region from Judea to Palestine. The people that we're talking about, Palestinian people, was invented after 1967. They invented it, them and the Russians and the Arabs invented a people.
Enough, you bring a lot of points. Let me answer one, please.
Calm down.
You bring a lot of points.
This guy also, but the point is just saying, so they came, so these people came and they created a people as a means of political resistance. This has nothing to do with an indigenous people that are living in a land that are getting moved out. This is political resistance used via a people. And we in the West, we get our heartstrings.
You are not in the West, if you say. And
Can I interject, please? I want to interject. So, Black Rabbi, everything you mentioned here, every lie, and if you can put your mic on mute, please. Put your mic on mute because I need to respond, please. You brought a lot of points.
Black Rabbi, please.
Wait, I'm not finished. You're cutting me off.
Okay, I mean, you mentioned a lot of, you mentioned about the Palestinians in Israel, about the Palestinians in the West Bank, about the name of Palestine, about how the Romans changed the name.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of points, you know?
And then we don't exist.
I don't want to. I mean, do you want to? You want to wrap it up? I'll wait for you. You want to wrap it up? I'll wait for you. Okay, you know, Black Rabbi, everything you mentioned here, all the lies that you spewed here, we spoke about them in a different room, and you apologized to me actually one time for citing something that is wrong in history, if you remember. But I am going, so you spoke about the Palestinians, how they are living on equal footing inside Israel, 2 million people, and this is wrong. I'm not going to answer it, just one. You spoke about how Palestinians who are being oppressed with all measures possible under Israel's disposal in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, how they are being just radicalized, and this is wrong. You spoke about the Romans, how they changed the name of Judea into Palestine, and I mentioned to you last time that Judea was a place inside Palestine, and Palestine was defined by people who came before the Romans. It was defined by the Greek, and I cited to you more than one person. I read that to you from a book. More than one person defined Palestine as the area from the Mediterranean Sea all the way to Petra in Jordan. This is before the Romans came. And Judea was a small place inside this whole area that was known as Palestine before Judea. But nevertheless, what amazes me, everyone here, actually asking a Black Rabbi a question is oxymoronic. Black Rabbi suffers from an identity crisis. He is an African American. I am a Palestinian. We Palestinians are inspired by African Americans because we think that we went through the same experience, through the same project of settler colonialism, and the same tactics that settlers and white people used to use against African Americans, against black people before, during slavery, during Jim Crow, and even until today. Black Rabbi is using them now against Palestinians. In my opinion, Black Rabbi, he wanted to feel, he wanted to be on the side of the oppressor, to see how it feels. How did white people felt during Jim Crow when they segregated black people into small, tiny areas and deprived them of education and housing and employment and all of that. How did it feel for white people? How they justified all of that? He wants to feel it now from an Israeli perspective. Black Rabbi has no conscience. And I don't want to keep talking, but I can show the same way I showed him last time when he mentioned that Palestinians live under equal footing inside Israel, how he is wrong. But I'm going to stop here. Black Rabbi has no shame, basically. So it will be a moot idea to engage him in any topic on Palestine and Israel.
Samud, I apologize. And I felt every word that you said. Believe me, I did. And I do understand the pain of knowing that others were oppressed and that they're turning their back or a blind eye to your own oppression. Just know that while Black Rabbi considers himself a rabbi amongst black folk, that he is not. And there are real Jews who can hear you, who can see you, who understand you, and who commiserate with you in real ways. Not just with their words, but with actions as well. I'm sorry.
You are easy, for sure. You don't have to apologize. I've spoken to you in the past. I know your background, and I'm sure you know my background. And I want to add one thing. Black Rabbi actually gives a very bad image about the religion of Judaism. At least as a Zionist Jews, at least they have something like a point. At least, like they say, well, we are a one people. A black rabbi is only used like, okay, if I go convert to Judaism, then I become an oppressor. In my opinion, he is hijacking, he is misrepresenting or insulting the religion of Judaism. Because of course, his blood is not, of that of the Jews. If we are supposed to say that they are one people, of course they're not. But just for him, adopting the Jewish religion, thinks that, giving himself the right to stand on the side of the oppressor. And in my opinion, this is an insult to the religion of Judaism.
Look, thank God, like here we are in time of internet, and today, like the real voice of Jews is here, the voice for peace, Jews in America, secular Jews, Naturi Kartai, even in Jerusalem, in Marat Sharim, Carter there, like they are against Zionism, so their voice is heard, and we respect them, and there is many Jews against Zionism. You see, but those people control the media, so you cannot hear them in the media. And the thing, at least like Rohan, give an explanation. It's a lie formation, so I will move on. I will not go back to the past about what blacks say about the cartoons in Gaza. Teach children to kill Christian and Jews, which is a lie, a big lie. And a proof for that, like the old church in Gaza, it's so old, so historical, of Greek Orthodox. Never the quote-unquote terrorist, extremist of Hamas didn't even touch that church. And now it's bombarded and struck and destroyed it by what? By the IDF, by the Zionists. They destroyed the church, not Hamas destroyed the church. So who teach those IDF soldiers, those pilots to destroy that church? That's the one. In Jerusalem, if you live in Jerusalem, there is videos, you cannot say it's a lie. There is maybe at least 5 videos. Jews in Jerusalem, Zionists, not like normal Jews, they spit on Christians. So who teach those Jews? They give them cartoons about Christians to spit on them because they are pagans? Like, if you are religious, if you are a rabbi, give me explanation of that. Black rabbi.
Tanis, there is a movie, a film, documentary called The Children of Ailabun. Ailabun is a Palestinian Christian town in Palestine. And those survivors of the Nakba, 1948, tell their stories. And we have seen dogs in Gaza eating Palestinian flesh. The same thing actually took place in 1948. You can go and watch the movie. It's called Children of Ailabun. It's in English and in Arabic, Abnaq Ailabun in Arabic. And you can watch a testimony from the survivors. One person